All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another stream. We're live today. We are gonna do a reaction. So the video is, yeah, can one vegan survive 20 meat eaters? Sounds like there's about to be a fucking lion that shows up to this shit, but we'll see how it goes. We'll try to, I'm gonna try to react to the whole thing. Hopefully it's not cringe as all fuck, but hey, I guess we'll see. Salsa, what's going on, fam? How we doing? Alright, without further ado, guys, let's see what these meat eaters. This is gonna be so. I have a feeling this is about to be cringe as fuck, but I'm ready for it, dude. Let's get into it.
Do you think we should reduce the amount of pain that plants are experiencing?
Yes, we should. Plants matter.
Holy shit, what a start. Yes, we do. Plants matter. What the fuck are we doing? Well, I guess I'm doing alright. I'm doing just fine. We had a lovely Easter.
Hashtag plants matter.
You're not addressing my points. You are not addressing my points. You are deflecting because I literally backed you into a corner.
You can have sex and it was unethical, non-consensual, but it was great. Or you can have the consensual sex and it's not quite as good. Which one do you pick?
Probably a cheeseburger.
Is eating meat unethical?
Probably a cheeseburger. Bro, what the fuck? Dude, I know these, dude, I swear to God, these Jubilee videos go crazy. Like, what in the fuck? Jesus.
Or has the conversation around veganism and ethical dieting become too rigid and moralized? I'm John Regalado, and from Jubilee Media, this is Surrounded, where one brave soul faces a room full of disagreeers. Today, we're diving headfirst into veganism.
Like we
factory
don't know what
farming,
this is.
And what it means to eat ethically. I'm here in the center with our featured guest, Dr. Jack Symes. Welcome to the show.
Hey,
Oh
thanks for having
shit,
me.
okay, we got
Ready
a
to debate
doctor
the
in the
circle?
house.
Sure am. I'm looking forward to hearing what reasons they've brought for their unethical lifestyles.
Are you all ready to
Just real quick, who is this guy? Pantsbycast philosophy podcast and editor of Talk. Oh my god, bro, it's on Joe Rogan. Oh god. That's literally, he is best known for literally being a podcast host. What the fuck? Who is, bro? Cheeseburgers are delicious, facts. When I was scrolling past, I saw a normal thumbnail to a video. I was jump scared by the friggin' cheddar. Yes, sir. We got the fucking react stream today, dude. Alright, so we found out who Jack is. He's literally a podcast. That his name is not that he's a doctor, but he's a podcast host. Welcome to 2026, guys.
bring your best arguments? All right.
Dude, look at this. Hold on.
Are
Look
you
at
all
this.
ready to bring your best
Talk about a
arguments?
chud. Look at this. Dude, look at this guy. That shit is way too tight, bro. Them buttons about to pop right off. That dude is buff as fuck. He is definitely a meat eater.
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, there's some interesting characters for sure that end up on Joe Rogan.
My first surrounded claim is extreme suffering for trivial pleasure is morally indefensible.
Hold on.
Claim is extreme suffering for
Extreme suffering for trivial pleasure? What's survival? Is that what he's gonna get at? He's saying survival is trivial? Does he not understand people die every day? Dude, survive what?
trivial pleasure is morally indefensible.
If you'd like to be the first debater, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Easy, lad. Dr. Jack.
Jesus.
Nice to meet you.
Hey,
What's
I'm
your name,
Dr.
sorry?
I'm Dr.
Okay.
Pete. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Dr. Pete.
So I am
that's
very
a-
excited about this
That's a buff ass doctor. What the fuck? Holy.
topic. I think it's super interesting that it touches on so much and all sorts with food. So I'm an emergency medicine physician.
Do you want to on the claim I made first of all? Do you want to
Oh.
Do you disagree with that?
I
first?
do. I do.
You disagree? Extreme suffering for trivial
I
pleasures
do.
morally
I do.
indefensible. Can I give you the reason? Then you can disagree.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think this principle comes from any of the major world philosophies. So you could be religious or not religious. You could be a Christian, a Jew, a Muslim. You could be a Hindu, a Sikh. You could be a Buddhist, or you could have one of the secular moral philosophies as well. You could be an Aristotelian, a utilitarian, an existentialist. But the easiest way to understand it is just being a utilitarian, right? A good action is one where you create lots of happiness and pleasure.
Okay, that's such a loaded question. Extreme suffering. What do you like? Is killing a cow extreme suffering? Like, no, I wouldn't say it's extreme. Now, if they're like torturing it before it dies, yeah, that's extreme suffering. That's probably not good. If you posted it in the stream, it probably did not pop up. I'm gonna be real. I'll keep it a buck. I don't know why YouTube doesn't. Well, I mean, I know why, moderation, but yeah. All right.
And very little pain and suffering. But unfortunately, when it comes to factory farming, it's the other way around in our treatment of non-human animals in general. Quick example, and then I'll let you jump in. A broiler chicken exists for 6 weeks. As soon as it's born, it has its beak clipped off with a guillotine. It's put in a cage so small it can't move. It's pumped full of food for 6 weeks straight, so fast that its organs fail, its legs break under its own weight. It goes blind because of the toxins in its own feces. And then it has its throat slit alongside 10,000 or so of its brothers and sisters. I think that's an extreme.
Yeah, that chicken is fucking $2.99 a pound. It's affordable. That's why people eat it. If people could eat better food, I bet you they would. But that shit is $2.99 a pound. I don't know if you guys know, gas just hit fucking $5 a gallon. So, what the fuck is this conversation? Oh my god, it's already starting to tilt me. Check Discord. What is this? What you send? Bro, sending NASA bro, what is this? What? Alright, that is not friendly to my computer. Yeah, like diesel, bro. Diesel's $5 a gallon. I mean, normal, like just normal. I think it's what, 89. Normal gas is fucking little over $4 a gallon. No, it's 87. I'm pretty sure, right? But it's like it's expensive. All tiers of gas are expensive. It's ridiculous, bro. I watched it jump from like 320, 330 to $4 literally overnight. It was crazy, dude. Literally overnight. We're getting off topic though. Hold on.
Pleasure, which is the taste on your lips. Would you agree?
Well, I'll say that all of civilization is about chasing triviality. And at the same time, I think that suffering...
On that, do you think that's too much suffering for the...
I would definitely also say that suffering is inevitable and it's essential.
It's inevitable, but you can minimize it, right? Is there too much there?
So as an emergency medicine doc...
You gotta let it load. I will do it. While we're on the thumbnail of Jubilee and watching the Jubilee video, we'll go through this first. So if someone joins or watches the stream in the future, we're not cut off by Artemis. No, we love Artemis, but I mean, after we finish this video, we'll probably watch another video or two. We'll check out the Artemis.
All the time.
I'm happy to talk about that, but if you can just say, is that too much suffering imparted onto the chicken?
That particular example?
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes
to sustain 8 billion people across the world, I would say is not trivial.
It's easier to sustain 8 billion people without having animal agriculture.
It's possible. I'd like to hear the mechanistic argument for that. But I will say, as a philosophy, you're a philosopher. I'm an ER doc.
Well, there are 30 to 60 million children that are dying.
This is the guy that wants you to eat fucking soybeans and rice 24/7. Doesn't want you to have a nice steak dinner. Some nice protein, lean protein. I mean, come on. Look at the meat eater. Look how fucking buff this guy is. And then we got the vegan. I'm sorry. This guy looks...
every year from starvation. UNICEF put it at 30 million.
Right,
Dr. Richard
a nice
puts it at
steak.
60 million. And so every year you got 30 to 60 million. In 82% of those cases, the children are dying in places where the majority of the meat has been given to cattle and sold to more affluent countries. That's Ethiopia. That's Sudan. Sudan is the hungriest country major in the world, and it has one of the biggest livestocks in all of Africa. So you can feed these people if you go to plant-based. You need 75% less land, and the amount of agriculture which is used towards supporting these.
Do you know how much fucking land they have already? Do you know how big the continent of fucking Africa is? Don't give me that bullshit. I don't want to hear that fucking bullshit. You know how fucking massive the continent of Africa is. A cattle farm that they export meat to. Bro, if it's 75% of the cattle farm, so that would mean you only need about 25% of that land. Why can't you just build it nearby? Or somewhere out? Like, bro, they have so much. They have nothing but land. And you're going to tell me they can't put a fucking... These arguments.
Slaughter them. That's one of the biggest causes of not being able to feed.
You're talking about a massive problem across billions of people across many geographies, and I think what you bring up is probably true. But at the same time, I don't think the solution to it is just either you're vegan or you're not. And what I mean to say is this about suffering, is that when you take care of people with strokes, heart attacks, domestic abuse, bear attacks, they're also violent predators that eat all sorts of things in addition to us. You know, you start to understand that there's two types of suffering. And I think that's the most important part. Two types of suffering. There's senseless suffering and there's meaningful suffering. And I think what you have to understand is that when you can create meaning behind suffering,
there's gratuitous
you can
suffering. That's the main thing. There's a necessary suffering. And that's the vegan claim. I take veganism to be the practical, ethical rule to avoid products and practices that cause unnecessary suffering. So would you agree that if you could...
Okay. What he's saying, listen to this. Eggs. They don't eat eggs. Chickens lay eggs as a byproduct. If they're not fertilized and they don't make chicks, you get eggs. But they don't fucking eat it. Why is my first video recommendation to this a live stream of a random traffic camera? Damn, fuck you, YouTube. What the hell? What is YouTube? What the hell? Fuck, I kind of want to see it. What's going on in Michigan? What happened that there was a spike in viewers that caused it to be recommended to someone? What happened in Coldwater, Michigan?
You can do something without the suffering. You ought to do it without the suffering. Yes or no?
Are you against domestication
if you answer that, then I'm happy to respond. If you think you can do something without suffering, ought you do that?
I don't think avoiding suffering is the highest good.
What is the highest good? I've just told you that every major world philosophy...
good is meaning.
I've just told you every single major world religion,
the only
every secular
major religions
philosophy
that they're all
thinks
human
that
beings.
Extreme suffering...
They're all human beings that...
Oh, God.
...does not justify trivial pleasure. Can you name one world philosophy that thinks that extreme suffering can justify trivial pleasure?
Carrying on.
I don't need to name a philosophy. I think what it is that in the ER, in reality, when I'm taking care of people recently diagnosed with cancer, or they have a child that died, etc.
Well, that's significant. There are two big studies on overall general health outcomes. The EPIC survey at the University of Oxford looked at 500,000 people over the last 30 years.
people watching
and the Christian Adventist study in the United States of America that looked at 75,000 people. In both these studies, it's found that you're likely to live significantly longer, less risk of heart disease, less risk of cancer, less risk of diabetes, less risk of obesity if you're vegan rather than eating meat. This is the most obese,
You know what also helps you lose weight? Not consuming 500 pounds of sugar. I think that's the problem, not protein. This guy ever look at a food pyramid? What the fuck?
obese country on the face
Bro,
the planet in terms of the global, in terms of being a major country. 75% of people in this country are overweight and obese.
I know it very clearly. I'm responsible for their health as well.
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please go back to your seat.
Thank you. Hey, nice to meet you.
oh my god, this conversation is... Bro, what?
How's it going, bud?
Dr. Soms?
Nice to
Pleasure
meet
to
you.
meet
What's
you.
your name, sorry?
My name is Brian.
Nice to meet you, Brian.
You have a PhD in philosophy?
I do, yeah.
That was my first major.
Oh, cool, nice.
Okay.
Where'd you study?
Philosophy.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean?
Where did you study?
Oh, University of Texas, San Antonio.
Very nice.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
actually
visited a
went
couple
to
times.
the National Ethics Bowl.
Oh, cool.
And
That's
competed in
great.
it. Yeah.
Awesome. So let's talk. What do you think of the claim? I made the claim earlier to one of your peers that there's no major world philosophy that thinks that extreme suffering justifies trivial pleasure. Would you agree with that?
So can we just stick like point by point rather than bouncing around? I just want to.
Yeah.
Okay. So
just that claim.
So what I heard from you is that you believe in minimalizing suffering.
I think all of the major world philosophies hold
Correct.
some version of that to be true. Yeah.
So I will not defend factory farming.
What?
There is another way of.
Be true. Yeah.
We'll need to go check that out after this video. What the?
So I will.
All right, hold on.
Okay. Yeah. So
just that claim.
So what I heard from you is that you believe in minimalizing suffering.
I think all of the major world philosophies hold
Correct.
some version of that to be true. Yeah.
So I will not defend factory farming. There is another way of producing meat, and it is regenerative agriculture.
Okay.
And regenerative agriculture reduces all of the harm. Okay.
Doesn't reduce all of the harm. The first.
Well, the majority of the harm, they live beautiful lives on regenerative
just
ranches.
one bad day, right?
Right,
Just
absolutely.
one bad
And
day.
they
I've had
don't-
bad.
Dude, is this a lesbian? What the fuck? Just one bad day. Just one bad day. Motherfucker, we're all gonna have our one bad day. What the fuck do you mean? Does this guy think he lives forever? Dude, the ego on this guy is crazy. What the fuck? That's not how we do leadership in the United States. Yeah, right. Gigsy, what up, dog? How we doing?
Days,
and
bad
they
hair
don't know
days.
that it's coming, but
achy
they're
back.
serving
Well, no one's ever
they're
slit my
serving
throat
their
with
purpose.
10,000
But they're
words of
okay. But here's the deal:
nonsense.
would they even exist in the first place if they weren't being harvested
Here
from
are
meat?
two-
No. Let
here
me
are
just
two
let me just ask you a
things. First
question.
thing to say-
Do they have the right to
I'll let you finish,
exist?
and then I'll come
Yeah,
back.
because you're cutting me off. Do they have the right to exist?
Well,
Because here's the deal. If you're saying that we should not harvest them, then those animals are never going to exist. So I guarantee if they had consciousness and
Right.
you put them down and you said, here are the scenarios,
finish, and then I'll
you
let you
can
respond.
either exist and you can have one bad day and you can serve a purpose and you can have a beautiful life. You can make a positive contribution to the environment.
would you be happy if
can
your
make a.
purpose
Can I
was
finish?
to be
Can I
slaughtered?
finish?
Yeah, but you're taking a
Yeah, absolutely.
I've heard the case.
So,
I want to
so,
respond.
so when I die, I
So
want to be
there's a
buried
few
in the
things that you
soil,
said that are
and I
wrong.
want to
The first thing to
decompose
say
so that my
is that
carbon returns
conscientious
to
farming
grass.
is a myth. The conscientious farming is a myth because
You're not addressing my points. You are not addressing my points. You are deflecting because I literally backed you into a corner.
The conscientious farming.
What about all of the mice?
There are more
What about
important
all of
things
the
than
rabbits
cows,
that
pigs,
die?
chickens,
Have you
and
ever spent
turkeys?
time on a farm?
Yeah,
Dude,
there's
I
some
am-
have.
Have you
I've
ever
got
talked
to
farm to farmers?
I've
Okay, and
walked on
how many
40.
mice?
I know. I need to. Well, I cleaned it out last year before the winter time, but it's definitely gonna be time to clean that bitch out. We'll do that when it gets a little warmer out and the rain stops.
How many rabbits are murdered to produce
80%
vegetables?
of all of
How
the
many are
vegetables.
murdered?
How many rabbits are murdered to produce vegetables? I love this. Oh my god.
80% of all of them are fed to
won't
factory
address it. You
farms.
literally
I've
won't
just
address these
told you.
issues.
All right, we'll check it out
80%
after,
of all
all
soy
right?
is given to non-human animals. Only
I'm
7%
gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you
is
right there.
given to
The
human
soy
beings.
is
I'll let
grown
you
for the
speak, so I'll
oil.
carry
The
on.
soy is grown for the oil.
So
It
the
is literally
overwhelming majority-
extracted.
Hannah
The
Ritchie
leftover
says-
product is then fed to cattle. That is a
You're not here for a
manipulative
discussion.
statistic.
You're not here for
I
a
am here for discussion. You won't address the
75
points.
I've just
You-
responded.
no, no,
Let me
no.
respond.
Go
Let
back
me
to the
respond.
soy.
Let
Go
me
back to the
respond. Let me
soy.
respond.
Go back
One
to the
thing.
soy.
Yeah,
Go back to the soy.
75% reduction, according to Hannah Ritchie in 2022. She says that's our world in data. You get a 75% reduction in all agricultural land. 30% of all your agricultural land is given to cattle. We've got 80 to
Okay,
90%
you're not
species
addressing the
extinction.
soy
You've got
statistic that
80
you
to
just brought up.
90% species
You're not
extinction.
addressing the
You've got
soy statistic.
91% deforestation.
85%. It is literally the byproduct. They grow the.
Who's the vegan? Okay, the guy that's built and looks like he's got a lot of muscles, that's the guy that eats meat. The guy that's very twig-like is the
The soy for the oil. Even if it wasn't being fed to the animals, they would
No,
still
that's
grow
not
the soy.
true. Only
That is
13%
true.
of it.
That is true.
I've
No,
got
no,
the
no, no.
reference right here.
like. Can you not just tell? Like, is it really? You can't tell who the vegan is. Do I just judge people that heavily that I see it night and day? Am I really? Because I can, like, it's a flashlight, like, in my goddamn eyes. I can tell you who the vegan is. Yes, the guy on the left. All right, let's continue on.
Yeah, and you don't understand the statistic. If you go and actually look at the statistic, all of the soy is taken, the oil is suppressed, and then the byproduct is what is fed to the animal. And it is 85% of it is left over, and that's what's
As
fed
I've
to the
just
animal.
said, 80 to 90% according to the WWF and
You're
the UN.
deflecting.
Why?
You
How's
are
that?
deflecting.
Tell me how that's deflecting.
You are deflecting.
Tell me how that's deflecting.
So you brought
Tell me
up
how
a
it's deflecting.
statistic, and you said that 85% of soy is
No, I
fed to
didn't. I
cattle.
said 80%.
80, whatever you said. You said the majority of soy is fed to
listen to me,
cattle.
bro.
Did you not?
I said 80%.
Yeah, okay, 80, so really, now you're going to argue about 5%, you understand the intent. So you're saying that the majority of soy is fed to cattle, and
Yes.
I'm telling you that that is inaccurate. It's not as if the soybean in it, listen to me, it's the
I mean, that would make sense. Why would you waste oil on animals when they'll just eat the pressed? Like, yes, that's a thing. I don't know why this guy is even trying to fight. Like, that's fact. They press the oil and then they give the animals the leftovers. You don't feed animals like kings. The hell? That was rude. I sincerely apologize. No, you're okay, walking stick.
the nuance.
Bro put himself in timeout.
It is the nuance that you
Oh,
were trying to
God.
deflect with. It is not as if 80% of all soy is fed to cattle in
Here's
its
what's happening.
natural state.
The
The
overwhelming
oil is
majority of
extracted,
land
and then
in
the
USA
byproduct is
being
fed.
used because of factory farming for the raising cattle.
I'm not defending
80
factory
to
farming.
90%
I am
of all
not
your
defending
wildlife
factory
extinction.
farming.
Your original
Argue
point,
against
your
regenerative
original point was
agriculture.
that having cows,
Argue
pigs,
against
chickens,
regenerative
turkeys.
agriculture.
Yes.
Argue against regenerative
Yes,
agriculture.
because it
Those
destroys the
animals do
wildlife,
not-
because it destroys the
No, it
climate.
doesn't. No, it doesn't.
According to the UN, 91%
Oh my
of all
God.
deforestation is caused by animal agriculture. According to the WWF and the UN, 80 to 90%
So-
of all wildlife extinction is
Hell yeah, dude. YouTube, it does have some basic moderation. So, like, I'm pretty sure, like, heavy swearing isn't allowed, and, like, you can't post links and shit. But I don't know if you can even post links in general.
caused by animal agriculture. Just because
Ranchers
you're using that land.
who have hunting
Yeah,
leases.
35%.
Listen, ranchers who have hunting leases, meaning that they have a ranch, they have land, they don't allow animals on there. They will literally have ranchers bring their cattle in there and flash graze the
Oh.
grass because guess what? It improves the entire
Wait, what?
ecosystem. And
You need to turn that down. I didn't even. I don't know. It's like a default thing. I don't know. We can take a look at it. It's probably dude. There's probably a lot of messages that have just not gone through because of moderation. But otherwise, bro, there would be some really messed up shit. Hell yeah, Kixie. I'm glad you're enjoying.
it provides no
Excellent.
energy.
What do you think
It
happened to the
provides-
Amazon? What's the leading cause of
What
what's the
happened?
leading cause
What
of
happened in
deforestation?
Yellowstone when they reintroduced
What's
wolves?
the leading cause of
What
deforestation in the
happened?
Amazon?
What
What's
happened?
the leading cause of
What
deforestation
happened in
the Amazon?
Yellowstone when they
You're
reintroduced
not
wolves?
interested in having a conversation, are you? You won't
They're
answer my
doing,
question.
they're doing it
I've
for
responded
soy.
to all of your points.
Okay, but here's
and
the deal,
I'm
though.
asking you one question.
The
That one
deforestation
question.
is related to factory farming. You can
Jesus.
get
No,
rid of
it's
the
not.
deforestation.
You think
Yes,
you got
it is.
factory farms in
Yes,
the
it is.
Amazon? Sorry, have you been to?
They're doing it
Okay,
for
pause,
soy.
pause,
They're
pause.
doing it for soy.
You've been voted out by the majority.
Holy
Please return to
moly.
your seat.
Yeah, walking stick. I'm not sure, my guy.
How's it going? What was your name? Sorry.
B.
Nice to meet you.
Girl
Kate.
Gone Carnivore,
Okay.
actually.
You're
That's
carnivore.
hilarious.
Carnivore. Full carnivore.
You
So
do
this will
you.
be fun.
Go on.
Okay, yeah, you
Why
do
are you a
you.
carnivore?
I do it mainly because I can't survive without meat.
Can't survive.
I cannot survive
like a
without
desert
it.
island scenario for you every
It,
day.
it is. It truly is.
What condition do you have? If you don't mind me asking.
Sure. I have gastroesophagus reflux disease.
Okay.
And so I cannot eat a vegetarian or vegan diet. I will literally get very, very sick. And I was actually vegan vegetarian when I was 16 years old, and that's when I got diagnosed. I've been on a journey. Thank you.
You've seen dietitians. You've spoken to GPs. You've seen doctors.
I've seen doctors, I've seen GPs, they've all put me on medications, and I was on medication for over 10 years that actually ended up depleting my vitamin D levels and put me in great amounts of depression.
Okay.
And I was
Heck
also
shit.
told by doctors that I would never be able to power lift again. I am now lifting 315 pounds with a deadlift.
And you couldn't find any of the
Rock
all
on,
of the
lady,
amino
rock
acids,
on.
all of the nutrients you needed in a plant-based diet.
Rock on,
Unfortunately, I
B.
could
What was
not.
it you were missing?
Mainly protein. I cannot consume enough protein from vegetation that I
Okay.
need to get it from meat.
There's a study by Miguel Lopez, a big one yet.
Again, this guy's just gonna tell you to eat fucking soybeans. Like, or he's gonna tell you to eat crickets. That's what they want. They want you to eat fucking crickets, dude. You know what a health condition... The cop out.
Last year in 2025 Journal of Sport Medicine that looks at over 8,000 papers across.
I wouldn't say it's a cop out for this question, because like, okay, this question has gone way off the rails. Like, I don't think anybody really wants like factory farms, but it's affordable. And when money is tight, you need affordable food. Now, would it be nice to just like put them on the planes and do their thing? Yeah, it would be. But then it's going to be more expensive. I don't know why. But I can see why it would be more expensive. In the farm, all the chickens are in one spot. Whereas in an open field, they're in an open field. You gotta like collect them. So I could see them making that excuse as being more expensive. But like, realistically, John Freedom as president 2040? Totally. Yeah, we'll have to Google John Freedom and figure that out.
Protein intake, and found there was no difference in terms of protein intake and upper body strength, lower body strength, and overall body strength. So I'm always surprised to meet somebody who says that, you know, this just doesn't work. You know, obviously great athletes who take on a lot of protein as well. And when you look at basic things like, you know, your tofu per portion is going to have more protein than your eggs. Your seitan's going to have nearly twice as much protein as...
What did I just say, chat? What the fuck did I just say? I said this guy is just gonna want you to eat tofu or soy. But tofu, that you use soybeans to make tofu. Right? The lady with the fucking medical condition, he's trying to be like, you shouldn't eat that meat. This is the craziest. I don't understand how this is a debate either. This is absolutely beyond me.
As your lean meat, your sirloin steak, your soy milk's gonna have more protein than your whole or semi-skimmed milk. So I'm always surprised to hear people can't get the protein. I wonder, like, you know, did you do those things? Did you carefully picked all of those?
It's an inflammation issue, really, when it comes down to it. So anytime I eat any other foods that are not meat, I get tons of inflammation. And so I can't physically lift. I can't physically really move. I feel very ill.
Yeah.
And so meat actually makes it where I can live.
Oh, she got bit like by that reverse tick. You know that tick that like when you bite you can't eat meat anymore? It's like a reverse of that. It's like you can't eat anything but meat.
And then strive.
Do you want to be vegan?
I do not want to be vegan.
Why?
I do not want to be vegan because it makes me sick.
Oh,
but
like if you were, you know, you
Oh my
didn't have
God.
these health conditions.
if I didn't have these health conditions and I could eat whatever I wanted, it's possible. But
Yeah, I don't know why
I-
this is
that's
how
a
this is
good
even.
question.
Look, and look at there. You don't see any. Look, you don't see any flags in the corner. Nobody's voting this out.
I really feel like maybe.
Oh my God! I
Yeah.
really
You probably
feel
would.
Maybe.
like
I mean, right? If I had
Kamala
no
Harris.
adverse effects to the vegan foods,
Okay.
then maybe.
Oh, I see a
Did-
flag
so do
up.
you try, I
Okay,
think
they're just not putting
conscientious
it
farming
on the
is a
screen,
myth,
okay.
But do you try and get the meat-based and animal-based products that you get from as ethically as possible?
I have. I'm not going to say that I do it all the time, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. But my brother's actually a farmer out in Texas, and I try the best that I can to get my meat from my brother because
Yeehaw.
I find that that's the best way to do it. I've actually went out to Texas and processed a cow with him, so I was actually there. He shot the cow, and then we processed it, and it was.
I'm
an
surprised he
experience
didn't
for me
burst
because
into
I actually got
tears.
to see where my meat comes from.
He
as
is.
opposed
He's
to
not
just
giving up.
being blindly.
Dude, this vegan guy he's not letting go, dude. The ego on this guy is too strong. It's over 9,000. The ego is way too powerful. Guys, he can't be stopped. Oh, fuck, the soundboard didn't work. Hold on, ready? We'll hit him with the... Oh, come on. Do none of these work?
It was at this moment he knew.
Okay, definitely not that one. What about this one? Oh, that's a funny one. That one doesn't work. There we go. We got that one. Alright, we'll save that. It's very, yes.
Eating.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure I'd enjoy it more if I got to see the creatures.
He's crossing the legs. Oh, look how tight that, bro. Jesus Christ, he is suffocating. Oh my God. Holy shit.
Well, my family, you know, they were butchers, and so I like to, you know, just kind of continue that in my family. But I was a vegan vegetarian, like I said, and when I was younger, and I do see where you were coming from as far as like where it could be ethically more sound. But unfortunately,
I've looked everywhere because I've sort of met a bunch of people like you. And I'm always, like I say, I'm always skeptical because the stuff that I read seems to go in the opposite direction. The only study I found said it was about 0.1 to 0.2% of people have a condition like yours where they.
I'm glad you're enjoying it, Giggsy.
It seems like, you know, when I meet people, it's more like 10% of people. So I do find it hard to, you know, just to be honest, I find it hard to believe just in general because I meet so many people.
It's really hard
say
to believe.
things like this. And I just encourage you to, you know, to go as far towards veganism.
This guy, you could be like, hey, the sky is blue. He'd be like, I'd find that hard to believe.
Veganism as possible, right?
okay, but
All right,
Given that you want to be a vegan.
Pause.
Thank
You've
God.
been voted out by the majority.
Thank God.
Please return to your
Holy
seat.
shit.
really
Yes,
to
thank
be
you so
the
much.
thing, but
I
that's
appreciate
okay.
it. Thank you. Hopefully speak to you in a moment. Thank you.
Oh, damn.
Hello, nice to meet you.
What's your name, sorry?
Danielle.
Yo, today is not, you do not want to wear heels to this. Yo, she almost fell. The girl in green almost
Nice
fell.
to meet
Oh
you.
my
What's your name,
God.
sorry?
Daniela.
Nice to meet you, Daniela. Jack.
Yeah, so I first became vegetarian at 8 years old. I
Oh,
had
wow.
seen
Oh,
PETA
God.
videos online, and I told my
At
mom.
8 years old?
Yes.
That's bad parenting right there. That's horrific stuff.
Yeah, I decided I didn't want to do it. And then at 16, I went vegan,
Yeah, nice.
and all whole foods plant-based vegan. So I wasn't having seed oils or...
Were you taking supplements?
No, I was not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I subsequently developed PCOS.
Are you taking supplements? That's what all of them fucking say. You need to take some goddamn supplements because the shit diet that they want to promote to you doesn't give you everything. Like, bro, eat a fucking steak. Oh my
symptoms
God,
as
it's
well as
pissing me
gout.
off.
Yeah.
So eating. So
It-
you
it
are
do
pro.
be like that.
Yeah, you are against whole foods plant-based.
Yeah, I think any sensible nutritionist will say that you need to make sure you're doing it properly. You need to be doing it carefully, and that means for a start taking a B12 tablet. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think we do lots of unnatural things, flying on planes, watching television.
Dude, yo, damn, I watched PETA videos at 8 years old, and it's like, damn, you must have bad parents. Yo. I mean, we can probably, like I said, I am very judgmental. Unironically. And, geez, you can already tell a lot about her parents from just that. This is poor kid. Jesus Christ.
Going straight to the source and just having a B12 tablet's absolutely fine. I think when you put those two diets in front of someone, like if we're not in this debate and someone said to you, right, here's one diet where you take a B12 tablet, and here's another one where you've got an increased risk of heart disease, more likely to be obese, more likely to develop all kinds of cancers, and you're going to live 15 to 20% longer according to the Christian Adventist study here.
Like, they don't want to accept, like, the natural human, like, how you digest. Like, they don't want to accept the human body for what it is. So they just want to shove pills down their throats because it makes them feel better. Even you are? Hell yeah.
Here in the United States, then I think most people would go for that one.
But yeah,
I think
honestly,
we need
they don't
that
have that.
information of let's not go for just a whole foods diet without that nutrition.
Yeah, I will say, since I'm responding to your claim, I do agree with your claim. That was the
cool.
biggest thing that bothered me about being a vegan or vegetarian, and people would always go and they'd say, "Oh, but what about
Hey,
bacon?"
Come back.
You know.
Come back to the light.
Well,
Just take the B12 tablet and become vegan.
but I'm not pro allopathic medicine. I don't think that these supplements are really beneficial.
Of course they are. These big health studies show that 500,000 people, University of Oxford, 75,000 people, the Christian Adventist study.
How is there a way to have veganism though without cities? I'm not pro
Without
cities.
cities.
Yeah, I'm not pro cities. I think, you talk later about factory farming, which is a product of the Industrial Revolution. That's not something I'm for in any regard. I think that's been very
Jesus
disastrous.
Christ. Yo, this guy's in trouble. He's like, wait, she's worse than me. She wants. Look at his face. Look at his fucking. He's like, damn. This girl doesn't even want a city. What the fuck? And yet, dude, supplements aren't for the rich. Facts, dude. You ever go buy some supplements, bro? Fucking $20 a bottle. That shit's crazy.
Someone's linked to Citris.
Well, why
For a
wouldn't
tiny ass
you
bottle,
need to
too.
have all of these supplements and you need to have all of this mass production?
just
Or in any regard, I think that's been very
I don't
disastrous.
understand how veganism's linked to cities.
Well, why wouldn't it be? If you need to have all of these supplements and you need to have all of this mass production.
It's just one supplement. It's just a B12 supplement.
Yeah, but you'd also
And you
need
can get
to
that from nuts and
Okay,
stuff
pause.
too, right?
Pause. You've been voted out by the
Jesus
majority.
Christ.
Please return to your seat.
Yeah. Well,
Holy.
veganism.
No, don't open up to veganism. Muppets, dude. I swear to God. Oh my God.
It's meant to be.
All right, hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
All right. How's it going? What's your name, sorry?
My name is Nicole Ashley.
Nice to meet you, Nicole Ashley.
Yes.
Jack, how you doing?
I'm great. I think killing plants is murder, though.
Oh, dude, don't do this. Come on, you're joking.
You're
trolling.
ripping it from the ground. You're ripping it from its mother. It's murder. And I enjoy the trivial pleasure of doing what the lions, what the hyenas, what the tigers have done for history.
So you think plants can
I love this woman already, dude. That shit's.
feel pain?
Yes,
Oh my
they
God.
can.
So you want to reduce that pain?
You know why?
Do you wanna
Because
reduce-
I have an azalea, and when I don't give it enough light, that thing dies, so it feels it.
Yeah, I think
so
killing
plants have feelings
Okay.
too.
Right. Do you think we should reduce the amount of pain that plants are experiencing?
Yes, we should. Plants matter. Hashtag plants matter.
Okay. So according to Hannah Ritchie 2022, you get a 75%
Oh my God.
reduction.
Yo, look at Murray. Look at the guy right
So
here.
according to Hannah Ritchie 2022,
Look at him. He puts his hand. Look at the little. Yo. That's so crazy.
75% reduction in all of the land that you need for
My
farming.
food is
So
eating
if-
your food.
Given the fact you're getting 40 to 1 in your calories and 30
Oh
to
my
1 in your
God.
protein from plants to animals then slaughtered, you get a 75% decrease in the plants that you're going to kill
This is how
if you
we've
go
been living
vegan.
for history. And I have to say this. When
Okay.
I go and don't give my fern enough light, it feels. Okay? When
Well,
I don't
that's-
give it any water, it feels.
Right, two things. I'll let you
Yeah,
do
she's
whatever.
trolling the
So you're-
fuck outta
you're
him.
clearing me out.
She's
The
trolling
first
him
thing to
so
say is
hard. I
that
love this.
We don't want to. In philosophy, we call it the principle of parsimony. That just basically means we don't want to attribute unnecessary attributes to something if we can explain it without positing it. What does that mean? Plants don't have central nervous systems, and their behavior can be explained without positing that they have minds that can experience pain,
But they
pleasure,
still have
happiness, and stuff.
feelings.
No, they don't. There's no
Plant
reason to
lives
think
matter.
that. No, they don't.
They
Plant
do.
lives matter. Plant lives matter. Oh, next time a vegan comes up to you, just be like, "Plant lives matter." Dude, this is the best. I love this. This is the fucking best.
The
They
second
get
thing-
sunlight, photosynthesis.
Just quickly.
They
No, because I don't want to do the
feel.
natural argument as well, and I want to get this one out of the way really quickly. I'll see if I can do it in 30 seconds, and I promise it'll be really quick. The argument they gave from nature is one of the biggest, one of the worst arguments for being an anti-vegan. And why? Because there are lots of things that are predisposed through our natures that we shouldn't follow, right? We're naturally predisposed towards war, lying, cheating,
God.
stealing. That's part of the Christian tradition. They think St. Augustine of Hippo.
But what
6th
about
century,
to the
we should
caveman
avoid doing that.
times? The caveman times, the cavemen lived. They lived off of
Good.
eating meat. So what is the big deal?
Well, they ate very
I
little.
love me a juicy burger. And why should I be denied that when you guys are murderers too?
You know-
Ripping a poor plant from its mama, from the Mother Earth. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Yum.
And we're out of time, baby. Let's do it.
I'm glad you got your clip. Thank you.
Oh my God. That was a fucking class act performance. That was an actual class act. Oh my God. That was fantastic. No, I can't afford this. Sorry, I don't make enough money. Sorry, I can't kick off. I'm broke. Sorry. Yep, I'm broke. Yep, I get a disclaimer. Okay. Everyone should aim to be vegan. No. How is that a debate? Just no. Well, how are you gonna debate that? How are you gonna debate your fucking feelings? Everyone should aim to be vegan. Do fuck your feelings. No. What the fuck kind of bro, how is this a debate? How are we on the second claim? And like this is really there's nothing else you can claim? Really? There's nothing else. Dude. This is beyond me. This is beyond meat. Yeah, that little vegan joke there?
All right, if you would like to be the first debater for this claim, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Hi. Hey, what's your name? Nathan. Nice to meet you, Nathan.
Nice
How
to meet
goes
you.
it?
Very nice to meet you. You're a dumb...
It goes pretty good. Yeah.
So the claim everyone should aim to be vegan, you happy with it?
No, and here's why.
Oh.
So, I am a third-year med student.
Dude,
and
the
I'm
trolls on
going to be a
Jubilee are too
physician,
funny.
Lord willing, next year. So, my goal is to take care of my patients. And I will actually come out and say that the vegan diet tends to be healthier. Absolutely.
Great.
I don't think there's much dispute over that. You can look at the evidence. It is healthier. However,
Do you want some seats?
however, the biggest thing with the vegan diet from a physician's perspective that you have to think about is, and it's been mentioned a couple times, is the micronutrient deficiencies that you can have.
B12.
B12 is one of them.
Just the tablet.
So B12.
You happy just taking the tablet?
No, but first, let me just talk for a second.
Like, what if they... What, like... That's the thing, right? If you're stranded on an island, right? And you're like gonna die, are you not gonna eat meat? Are you, like, to survive? Like the way this guy's talking is as if like just take a tablet. Brother, why are you relying on pills? He's probably like 30-something years old. Why do you want to be popping pills at 30? I don't care if they're vitamins, bro. Eat food that has, like... Hold on, chat. Sorry about that. Thought I heard something. I like seeing the captions, guy. That's so funny. Wait, they don't have auto caps? Damn. I realized at the world end there is going to be human with sticks. Right? What did they say? World War... Like, we don't know how World War III is going to go, but we know World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
So for B12, it is a DNA precursor that helps synthesize red blood cells.
Yep.
When you don't have that, they become big and become what we call macrocytic anemia. And eventually, if you don't treat it long enough, you will have nerve damage. And we've seen that time and time again.
Early onset Alzheimer's, all that stuff. What your girl earlier on was, she did the whole foods diet. And as I said then, you need to take that B12 supplement.
So that's not the only thing, though. That's the problem, is that we also have calcium. Calcium is very important for bone density.
Yeah.
About 30%, if you're vegan diets exclusively, you are 30% likelier to have a fracture. And
Okay.
Jubilee, you can fact check me on that.
No, but these are good, right? So the nutrition.
Those fucking fact checkers. Okay, those fact checkers. I probably didn't pronounce that right. They didn't want to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we can,
they
we can
should
pick out
have.
all these
Sure,
little things.
absolutely.
But the overall health outcomes for the vegan are significantly better, aren't they?
So it depends. So as a physician,
The EPIC study at the University of Oxford, you'll be familiar. The Christian Adventist study here at the United States.
Okay.
That's 700,000 people over 30 years who have been tracked.
700,000 people. There's 8 billion people on this planet. There's 200 plus million in the US. And this guy's like 700,000 people.
20% less likely.
I don't care if they took every single they took that 700,000. Those are all vegans. No, I can't do that. Those are literal trolls. Flat earthers are literal trolls. The earth is not flat. And if they say it is, then that's just a troll. It's not even worth talking to them. It's crazy. I don't even want to listen to it. It's going to make me mad. I've seen a few videos where they do like a convention for flat earthers, but beyond me. Beyond meat. Let's go.
Like, you're going to have a longer life by about 20%. Less likely to get cancer, less likely to get diabetes. Here's one, can I ask you one question? Because
absolutely,
I'm really interested. So the United States, you've got a lot of fat people.
Yes.
A lot of obese people,
Yes.
a lot of overweight people. The Christian Adventist study here in the US is interesting because they look at people who have got a similar religious background, similar alcohol and smoking intake, which is very, very little. And it found that the vegans had 4 to 5 lower BMI points than the meat eaters, which would literally take you from obese to perfect.
I am not in favor of the current American diet. I want to make that very clear. The diet that I'm in favor of, and that I will mention to all my patients who are struggling with BMI, is the Mediterranean diet, which I'm sure you are very aware of. It's actually very similar to the vegan diet in that it has whole grains, legumes, seeds, fruits, and vegetables, which are all super important.
Why wouldn't you take the supplements?
Because why would I take supplements when I could just have lean meats like chicken and fish and turkey and things that I really enjoy?
By Junie Wang.
Should I turn it up a little bit?
In 2019, where she found the fortifieds and the supplements were more easily absorbed by the body because they're already taken away from the fibers. So that's why you take.
So I actually disagree with that because, so for instance, omega-3s, fish have omega-3s.
You can get it from nuts as well.
So here's the thing: is that for nuts, it's actually your body has to convert it to what it needs.
Take your omega-3 tablet?
No. So omega-3 tablet, you need, so that's another tablet thing. Why would you do that when you could just take fish or something similar and just be able to eat that?
There are a bunch of reasons. The one is the moral reason, which is significant. Our oceans
Oh
are
my
being destroyed.
god. The fucking moral goddamn oh god, what's that word? Oh, there's a word for it. Moral, like they're like pushing themselves. There's a word for it. Fuck, I can't remember the word. But like they just like push everything that they like. They're just insufferable, bro. They like, oh my god. There's no like middle ground with these people. Literally zero middle ground. No, not moral compass. It's like it's like it's one thing to be like vegan and be like, oh, I'm vegan, like, and I'm cool with that. It's another thing to be like, I'm vegan and you should be too. Not you should try it out, you should be. You know what I mean? Like they're pushing themselves onto you. It's not like seafood at least be a middle ground. They don't even want to do that. Advocate. That's definitely not it. Proselyte. Wait, proselyte. Don't mind my spelling. Wait, what the fuck, chat? Why am I? What is this word? Proselytize. What the dude? Can I get a definition? Can I get, dude, they need to have like a, oh, wait, we can do that. Hold on. Right, we'll just do that. Translate. No, shit. Where's the... Where's... Forget about it.
3 to 10 trillion fish being taken out of the ocean. People complain about shark fin soup and they don't want whales being killed. The bykill is absolutely enormous. And when you're talking about the suffering for the non-human animals as well, when you talk about the cost, the University of Oxford study in 2021 found it's 30% cheaper to have a vegan or vegetarian diet than it is to have a meat-based diet. And the fish pescatarian diet was the most expensive out of all of them. So it's more affordable. If you're spending $10,000 on groceries to house each year,
Jesus Christ.
you're going to save $3,000 by going vegan. That's a very strong argument for not going for the fish.
That's cap. You kidding? This guy wants you to eat canned food then, because the supermarkets, bro, that shit's expensive. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Everything is expensive, bro. What?
Yeah, you could eat pescatarian, but then you've got all of the destruction of the wildlife, and you've got the killing of the animals, and you've got the cost as well. Or you could just take that omega-3 and B12 tablet, and you can significantly reduce your...
You also need to take calcium, you need to take vitamin D, you have to take selenium, you have to take iodide.
95% of people in the 95% of people in the US are vitamin D deficient.
Yes, that is fair. And we do prescribe that. But the thing
is, unique to veganism,
as I've seen patients, as I've been rotating through different things.
Can you rank the diets in terms of healthiest? Would you go pescatarian, vegan?
I'd go Mediterranean first,
yeah,
and then
vegan?
pescatarian, and then vegan.
Okay,
so here's the important thing for me.
We're not too far
away.
Oh, God.
We're not too far away, but here's the thing, is that I think about my patients, and I think about what is achievable for them.
Bro wants me to watch Flat Earthers so badly.
I think
it's affordable for them.
Aren't you the one always telling me breathe in, breathe out, and you want me to get mad? No, I saw it twice.
What's affordable?
So,
do you think this guy is secretly eating meat and lying about it? No. Look at the way his legs are crossed. He is definitely not lying about it. I guarantee you he's telling the truth. Look at that, dude. Look at that form. Dude, he is... No, he's right. He only eats vegetarian diets. He doesn't... Yeah.
So affordable, but also, but listen, can I?
Of course, sorry.
The other thing is, I've seen medication non-compliance. Like, I myself take a medication for blood pressure, and I suck at it. And a lot of other people, one of the biggest things in America is that a lot of people actually are just not compliant with their medications. So
what is that? Just they don't take it.
They don't take it. So it's either we have them high BMI.
Yeah, they don't take the medications, but even medications they need to survive, people still don't take their medications. And then they're like, yeah, now you need these supplements that people forget to take. Fuck out of here.
I take a bunch of medications.
Yeah.
We do a vegan diet. We give them a lot of supplements, like 5 or 6 actually, that you would need. Or you can have the Mediterranean diet, where you can just have a good diet without those supplements or added things in it.
Yeah, you don't need those 5 or 6. You need the B12 tablet.
You need B12,
omega-3
you need calcium.
push as well.
And the hard thing is that you have to be super.
Oh, he just said you need omega-3. Oh, I thought you only needed a B12.
Super careful about how much of the macronutrient you're consuming. So as a vegan, you have to make sure.
They want taking 12 pills to be cool. I think it's dude, I think it's a mental thing. They get to a point where they just they smell meat. They haven't had it for so long. Now, there's the difference between people that want to be vegan and people that are forced to be vegan. People that are forced to be vegan, they will, they will eat meat, but out of respect for their partner or whatever, they don't. And then there's people that just genuinely don't want to eat meat. And fine, don't eat meat. More for me. What? That's not the I mean, it does be that is kind of funny how it is the Polish flag. But no, you see the guys in the background how they have their flags raised? That's supposed to be a meter, but they don't always do it. So it's kind of messed up. I have Gixie. It smells good.
Okay, I'm having this many of this kind of food group, this many of this kind of food group,
some
because
curry
we
or
want to
some
make sure
shit?
that you're getting those vitamins and those micronutrients in. Whereas a Mediterranean diet, you wouldn't need to do that as much. You have to do it some, for sure, because you want to make sure that you're not eating too much as well. Because the other thing with the Mediterranean diet studies is I've seen so many studies where they just let people eat.
Can I ask, how do you explain that 600, 700,000 people in the overall health outcome work. University of Oxford and the Christian Adventist study, which I've mentioned a few times. If people are struggling to take those supplements, and if people aren't doing veganism properly, you'd expect their life expectancy to be significantly reduced. Or
so if you're not a vegan, you die. This is what, dude. Jesus. You see the flag? This thing next to my ear, right here. That flag. That's what he's talking about.
not 20% more. They beat the pescatarians on life expectancy significantly. They've got better health outcomes in terms of their risk of cancers, diabetes, obesity. So in practice, you say people are bad at doing this, and yeah, of course they are. That rings true for us intuitively. But when you look at nearly 1 million people and you look at what they're actually doing, the vegan significantly has the better health outcome. And I want a car that's going to go far. It has fewer trips to the garage, that it goes faster and longer. That's what I want, good health outcomes. So the same should be true of my body as well.
But the thing is that there are truths to that definitely cancer is a thing where it's decreased in vegan.
Yeah, so you see it's gone up. They don't keep track. I don't think they do it, because last time they didn't do it. They didn't have it for like the last conversation, so I don't know.
However, the Mediterranean diet does have those decreased thing.
Like, how do you explain the
I don't know. I'm still a student. I'm still learning, and maybe I will find that study, and maybe I'll be able to answer that better for you at some point. But as I see it,
well, check it out. Take my email or something after.
Okay.
Genuinely read it, and I'm genuinely interested to hear what you think of it, because I read it, it just like the difference is huge.
But I think when it comes to the Mediterranean diet versus the vegan diet might be better in some ways, but only just by a little bit. With the Mediterranean diet, you still have decreased cancer rates. You still have decreased cardiovascular risk. You still have decreased risk of diabetes if you're doing those things properly. And one of the things we learn, I've never in my medical school career been told to recommend the vegan diet as the first diet to go to. It's always been the Mediterranean diet,
Now
the
we
DASH diet, which is
should be voted out, but I guess not.
Salt.
Yeah.
And I will admit, there are red meats out there that are probably not as good for you.
Really bad.
Yes, exactly. But when it comes to like
and the
chicken,
ultra-processed foods,
fish,
as well, when you're comparing a beef burger to a regular burger, recent studies are showing that you're way less likely to develop heart disease by having the ultra-processed vegan burger over the beef burger. We're not surprised by this either, are we?
Ultra-processed.
Bro, what? Bro, what? This guy, now he's gonna advocate for ultra processed as a vegan. Joe, this is beyond me. I don't even know what this guy is fighting for anymore. Like, what the
This vegan burger is better?
Yeah,
Okay,
the
pause.
Beyond Meat one, significantly.
Pause, you've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
That was a pleasure.
See, he's talking about he's not saying, okay, he wasn't talking about like a frozen burger. He was talking about a Beyond Meat burger. That's not a burger. Or that's not a hamburger. You sure call it a burger, but that's not a hamburger. I think it's meat. So it turns out he wasn't even talking about a normal burger. He was talking about, see, this is where they get you. They're not talking about a hamburger. They're talking about a veggie burger. God, dude, this makes me want to go eat fucking like a steak right now. Jesus.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It was a good conversation. Thank you. How's it going, dude? What's your name, sorry?
My name is Fode Sella. I am a...
Fode Sella?
Yes, sir. I'm a Sierra Leonean professional.
Fode, okay. I thought it was like first name was Fode Silla. I was like, what the? Fode is his name. Okay.
Professional boxer.
Cool.
I simply just want to have the conversation.
Some of the best boxers are vegans, aren't they?
Oh, no, they're not.
David Hay, Brian Jennings.
2. Yeah.
That's 2. So Akali?
Akali, that's 3. Okay. Ali, Frazier. I could name you an entire bunch of
given
boxers.
The population of vegans.
Yeah. What's your point?
That those 3 either won world championships or competed for them.
First of all, David Hay is a bum. Okay. Most current fighters that everybody knows here. Who here knows David Hay? Anybody?
I don't know who the
knows
fuck
Mike
he's talking
Tyson?
about. Yeah.
There you go. That's the point. Continue.
No, I'm saying, given the proportion of the amount of people that are vegans, and given how these people were vegan in the 2010s, I think it's phenomenal that these three were some of the best boxers in the world. Novak Djokovic, the best tennis player in the world, is vegan.
Yes.
Lewis Hamilton, the best Formula One driver, is vegan.
Okay.
In my view, the best drummer, Travis Barker, is vegan. All these people are vegan. They're the very best in the sport and athleticism, are they not? Also, it's sort of
He's naming like one person out of like billions of people.
was it, right? So I'm not interested in sort of going tit for tat and going.
And even if we're just talking about like professionals here, there's still millions of professionals and like semi-professionals. And he's naming one person, and he's like, yeah, one tennis player out of like how many tennis players are there? Like, dude, what is this? Like, what is this? What are these proportions, dude? I don't understand. What is this debate, dude? I swear to God, this debate is gonna make me stupid. Like, actually, what is this conversation?
Who's the best boxer
Oh my
in
God.
the world? I think some of the best boxers in the world are vegan. I think.
Oh yeah, that's one of my. Yeah, that's a buddy of mine.
Those three people would, take you on any day if you don't mind me saying so.
That is his name.
You're
Yeah.
sleeping on me a bit there, Doc.
But here's the main thing, right? We think that dog fighting is bad, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So what happens when we kill the dog, we eat its flesh, and then we fight? Is that wrong as well?
What do you mean we? I don't speak French. I've never done that. So I've never seen any.
Oh, motherfucker! Yo, he said we. I don't speak French. What do you mean we? Yo, dude, that was ice cold, dude. That was fucking ice in my veins, cold. Oh my God. Damn, son, he let him know.
Anybody that does that
cow,
either.
a chicken?
A pig, a cow, a chicken. But you're saying that in such a
What's the
Western
difference?
term.
What's the difference?
The difference is one we raised as a companion and the other one we raise as food.
And that makes the moral difference. Why?
It makes a moral difference because I need to feed my kids. Again,
Do you think cockfighting's bad? Having two chickens with razor blades on their legs?
that's not what you asked.
Wrong, actually. Dumbass. They're not fucking chickens. They're roosters. Get it right, Goofy.
You asked, is it a problem to raise one as
So we
food
agree that
or companion?
we agree that harming animals for sport is bad, and therefore, if we think that, it would translate to us harming animals for our own sporting excellence, wouldn't it?
No, it would not.
Why?
It would not because of the feeling. You're coming in from a very
The feeling?
emotional
What does that mean?
point of view.
I'm not emotional at all.
Dude, you can tell his body is flowing with estrogen. Jesus Christ. What do you mean? This guy, his whole argument is about feelings. This literal claim everyone should aim to be vegan is a feeling. And
You're very emotional.
Where do they
You
find
keep
this
a very
guy?
stoic face, but you're very emotional on the inside.
There's nothing wrong with emotion.
Did you see that? Look at his lip curl, dude. He's like,
Very emotional. You
He's
keep a
like-
very stoic face, but you're very emotional on the inside.
There's nothing wrong with emotions.
Oh,
Emotions are
it's-
evaluative things, aren't they?
I guess if you see the world
But
at that point
but
of
you're
view.
ignoring the main point. We both agree that harming animals for sport is bad, but you're happy to do it.
Did I say I was happy to do it?
Well, you're on the meat-eating side, aren't you?
Of course I'm on the meat-eating side, okay? Because I come from a world that's realistic. I come from a continent that needs meat,
So are
majority of
Carly,
it to
Brian
live.
Jennings, and David Hay are all living on the moon.
Oh, great. There's one or two people you can name out of a
I'm
thousand.
not even into boxing. I know the names. 3 of them.
because he's a dude. Imagine he can't name any other boxers though. I bet because he only knows vegan boxers. That's crazy, bro. Holy wow! It's almost as if the vegan knows all the other vegans. Wow. It's almost as if it's like a cult.
Anybody here knows those people's names? No, just because you know something
They're world
does not mean the
champions, or
whole
they
world.
competing it for?
They're one world champion based off
Have you heard of
hundreds
Novak Djokovic?
Of course I have.
Okay, that's interesting. He's probably the best tennis player in the world, isn't he?
He was one of the best tennis players in the world. Have you heard of Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, and all those
Imagine if he had a
people?
stake, he'd probably stay the best tennis player in the world. Wouldn't he?
Why not? But let's get back to the actual.
The actual
point.
thing is we
Yes.
did.
Okay, what's good for the individual that doesn't mean it's good for the masses. This is what this guy is pushing for. Individuals can make their own choices, and if going vegan is good for them, by all means, go for it, man. Go crazy, go vegan. But when you're like, everybody should be vegan, that doesn't work. That doesn't work for anybody. Like, what?
We think that the vegans compete at the highest level alongside the non-vegans, but the non-vegans...
Can you imagine if all of a sudden overnight 8 billion people on this planet started taking fucking you know what, let's make it smaller. Let's just drop it to the US, like 200 million, right? 200 million people. Imagine all of them start taking vitamin B tablets overnight. Bro, you think there's enough supply? Like, this is like years of this guy's gonna have to do yapping like this and convince one person at a time. Because, like, bro, if all of a sudden people were like, yeah, I'm gonna go vegan and never eat meat and start taking vitamin B tablets, brother, there's a lot of people. Have you seen a crowd? Dude, most people, I don't think, I'll be honest, they don't know what, like, how much 1,000 people looks like. Like, a group of 1,000 people. To picture that, like, you maybe see, if, like, you work, like, a normal job, corporate job, office job, whatever, you maybe see, like, 100 to 200 people. Bro, 1,000 people is a lot of people. And now you want, like, imagine just 1,000 people go into a CVS or Walgreens and buy vitamin B tablets. The shit will be off the shelf before, like, 10 people. Like, you know, like, nobody would be able to get it. 99% of the people wouldn't have anything because that shit would be sold out. It doesn't work. It literally just doesn't work. And the fact that, like, this guy is like, okay, again, if you want to be vegan, go for it. Be as vegan as you want. But, like, to say everybody should be vegan, that's crazy. That's actually...
They engage in some...
We're not going to go any further than
which we
that.
think is morally wrong, which is harming animals for sport. Agreed?
No, not at all. I love the way you put things together. Your accent makes it even better. But plain fact is, I find it quite...
Are we flirting?
It would.
Almost. Maybe if you get a drink after this.
Just go right now.
All right.
I knew it. I knew it. He's the bottom. Oh my god. I haven't seen him smile like that this whole episode. Yo. Breathe in, breathe out. Yo. I know who this guy votes for.
But it's quite concerning, and I have to get a bit serious about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
You come from a place, I believe you're British, correct?
Yeah.
A place that's very greenery, and I come from
Greenery?
Yes, meaning there's a lot of plant-based in that region.
What do you mean?
Isn't there a bunch of trees, so on and so forth?
Yeah, probably just
I might
as
be
much as
wrong.
probably just as much as the US.
True, but again, let me
It's a
finish
big-ass
my
country.
point. Let
Yeah,
me.
of course. Sorry, I
come
was
on.
clarifying.
Come on. I come from a continent that has a place called the
Oh,
Sahara
God.
Desert that a lot of people depend on me. And you saying that everybody should aim to be.
Aim to be. That's important.
Yes, again, let me finish, my guy. Aim to be vegan, I think it's very unrealistic. In a sense.
That's the realistic part. Should aim to be. Not that everyone has to be vegan and there is no circumstances when you can't kill an animal.
Bruh.
It's the most sensible claim you could hear. Everyone should aim to be.
Yes, but
if they can.
there's something called somebody just reading a book continuously and having fantasies and the world we live in.
Are you saying I
The
just
wo-
read a book and have fancies?
You come up
Facts.
as that?
Why?
You come up as
I've worked on farms.
Great, but have you lived in a place that people depend on me?
Have I lived in a place where people depend on meat?
Yes.
No.
Have you seen that's my point.
But the reason a lot of these people depend on meat, again, as I mentioned earlier,
Yes.
is because in 18...
I can't wait. He's talking about people in the fucking desert. In the desert. I remember a comedian did a skit about this. I'll try to quote it. There's nothing but sand out here. Everywhere you look is sand. Go where the food is. Ugh.
82% of the countries where they're starving, the main produce, which is the plant-based agriculture, is fed to the animals and prices out the local population. Countries like Sudan, countries like Ethiopia, those countries have some of the highest
Where is
cattle
Sudan located?
in Africa,
What part of Africa?
on the east coast of Africa.
Sub-Saharan, right?
Yeah.
What happened to majority
has
of
the
those
biggest-
countries
which has
that
arguably-
cannot grow plants? You would leave them to depend
What are you on about?
heavily.
What do you think they're eating?
They're eating camels, are they not?
Sorry, Sudan, has one of the biggest livestock in the whole of Africa, and the animals there are eating camels.
Did you hear me say that?
Oh, I'm trying to understand what you're on about.
Okay, let me say it very slowly.
Cool.
Maybe my American English is not going so well.
Yeah, dude, this guy is ripping into him. No leather would be considered vegan, because if you have something leather, it's not technically vegan. So then you'll have vegans versus vegans arguing how vegan they are. And it's literally like an ego battle about who's more vegan.
Okay, come on, we have to. It's such a great chemistry.
No,
What I said was a place like Sub-Saharan Africa and Sahara Africa itself depend heavily on certain meats, correct?
Yeah.
And you cannot grow plants in those areas.
You're not disagreeing with my claim,
If you
though.
force those areas to depend on plants...
I'm not doing that. We agree. I don't understand what the difference is.
Oh,
if you live
God.
in freaking Greenland or on the North Pole, you can grow plants there either. But my claim is that veganism is the practical rule to avoid the unnecessary suffering wherever possible. And my claim now is that everyone should aim to be vegan. But the reason why the overwhelming number of people can't go vegan is because of factory farming, because of animal agriculture. We're not living there now.
Yeah, so basically, he wants you... Look at the fucking look on his eyes. This guy wants you to be priced out of meat, so you're forced to be vegan.
None of you are living there. It's not an excuse for
Hey,
anybody
again,
in this room.
You keep saying we. First of all, you don't know anything about these
I've
people
met
around
half
us.
of them. They're all meat eaters.
So what's wrong with that? First of all, the
wrong
judgmental
with-
side of you is crazy. So
no
we can't
judgment.
go on this date at all.
There's
All
no
right?
judgment.
Secondly,
I know they're all meat eaters. I know
Yes.
they're all. Some people have flew in. Some people have managed to get here, and they have access to plant-based products. Yet they choose to eat meat.
Okay, pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Oh my god, there's 4 more minutes of this claim. I don't know if I can handle it. This is like the most dumbest claim. It's so fucking stupid. Oh my god.
You say I got you there.
Yeah, I'm breaking protocol. This is real quick. Just go with it. Just go with it. I don't want to waste all their time, but you say everybody should be vegan.
Yeah, aim to be.
Oh, that's how, you know this guy is about to get fucking railed when the goddamn host of the fucking show sits down. Oh, this is great. I don't think I've ever seen the host sit down. Yeah, this is great.
I don't want to waste all their time, but you say everybody should be vegan.
Yeah, aim to be.
Everybody should aim to be vegan. Okay, I can't hide from the fact I'm a carnivore. But there's
Omnivore.
Carnivore. There's 2 groups of people, though, that I want to challenge your claim on. The first is hunters. So I have a good friend. I grew up in Colorado. I have a good friend. He's a hunter. Probably one of the most ethical people I know. I could make the argument that people like him actually do quite a bit to minimize animal suffering because he doesn't participate in industrial farming. He kills his own meat. And he has made the argument to me that, taking an animal's life in the wild, you're sparing that animal from the worst death, a worse death that it will experience. Because when an animal dies in the wild, it's usually pretty ugly. It suffers a lot more. So he's reducing the suffering of animals. So I think you might be actually more aligned with hunters than you realize.
I'm more aligned with hunters than the person who's engaging in factory farming or what they think is conscientious farming, for sure. What I will say is, first of all, the hunters typically aren't honest about why they do it.
The judgment said was crazy. That's a t-shirt. Calling it there will be a GTA 6 trailer this month, maybe. I mean, didn't there weren't there just like GTA leaks? I don't know. I heard something about there being some GTA leaks.
Do it. I think they do it because it's fun. I think they do it because it taps into that evolution.
Bro thinks we eat meat because it's fun. No, it's because we're fucking hungry. What? Because it's fun. Brother, I'm sorry, I'm not eating tofu. I don't care what anybody says. I will not eat that disgusting freaking... No, I won't do it. I don't care. I'm not eating tofu. It's all they want. They want you to eat tofu and soy, and that's it. I mean, I would do it. I think that'd be kind of cool. Guns are cool. Being out in the woods is cool. Making your own food is cool. You're getting your hunting license? Dude, that's sick. Hell yeah. See, I can't get into it because I don't even know where to start. But it's something we think about from time to time. Being like, fuck all. If you guys never see a stream, I'm in the woods.
Evolutionary feeling, like having sex feels good, being warm feels good, hunting feels good. I don't think it's sensible to deny those things. When you look at when they're hunting elk and deer, for example, in Wyoming, in the national park there, the state actually fund the feeding of deers and elks during the winter to make sure the population's up. And then the hunter goes, I'm just there for population control. And in Texas too, you've got these automatic feeders, and so they're keeping the population up just to go hunting. Nagy Ellis did a research paper on this and found that 65% of all the deers and elks that are killed are male. So if you want to keep the population down, what you do is you kill females. You don't kill 65% males, because one male can impregnate 5 females, and so can 2, right? So it's not that's not the reason why they're doing it, and they're doing it to catch with the antlers. But on the terms
a more
of suffering,
optimal system.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So here's the problem with the argument that we're relieving the suffering. Say, for example, I really liked having puppies. I love puppies. I'm a big dog lover myself. But
he's comparing a companion to a... Uncle Hunt's new channel, right? That's a whole hunting stream went. Yeah, right. You just see me like this. What's going on, chat? Today we're playing Big Buck Hunter.
having a dog, it's a handful. So at 11 months old, I sneak up behind my puppy and I slit its throat.
Right.
Kill it quickly.
That'd be terrible.
Death is bad, right, in and of itself. It would be wrong to do that, even if it was painless. If I had 50 puppies over my life and I just killed them painlessly. So when you deprive the elk or the deer or the pig of life when you're hunting, you're taking away that life in the same way as you might do a puppy. Now, there is an argument to say, and this is perhaps where we can find some agreement, that the deaths are going to be typically worse from...
Dude, hand animation? That's... Oh my god, no, you don't even know how much work that would be. Buy an IRL Rust mask. 3D print one real quick.
Predators, natural predators, wolves, big cats, than they are going to be for hunters. There are bad hunters too, but on the whole, you can probably expect to bleed out 30 seconds to a minute. Average hunter when you take in a shot with a rifle, and that can typically range 8 to 10 minutes if you've got a predator that's crushing a skull or bleeding out of the neck. So you have to ask yourself honestly, the average elk or deer has been killed at about 4 to 6 years old, but they could live twice that length. So you're depriving them of 2 minutes of pain and suffering, but you're also depriving them of 6 years of life.
Right, but I think a hunter would argue that they're not killing all the elk. It's a...
What are you... Wait, who? Me? My mask?
Unfortunate fate for a select
elk,
elk,
and
they're killing an elk for me. So I guess my only argument is, it seems like maybe rejecting hunting might be too myopic or idealistic for your mission, because they seem like they're kind of a good ally for your cause, which is to reduce the suffering, frivolous suffering.
Yeah, I don't think reducing suffering is all that's important. You could blow up the whole world right now and that would end all suffering, but I don't think that's something we should aspire towards.
I agree with that. Another question I have, should children be vegan?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh my god.
Doesn't that feel like a bit of a risk?
I'd say the biggest risks on health outcomes, we're talking overall health outcomes, so we're trying to avoid the nutrition game, not to dodge the argument, but to go, when you're looking at nearly 1 million people and their health outcomes, the kids are going to be, like child obesity in this country, right? Huge problem. They're going to have lower BMI if they're vegan. They can get all the nutrients that they need on the vegan diet. They're less likely to develop these cancers, and, it seems obvious that that's something they should be doing.
It's like we know the problem. And the solution this guy is giving is not the right solution. Being vegan isn't the solution. Having less sugar in your diet is the solution. But what do I know?
You're saying I should take the bacon away from my daughter.
Yeah, definitely. Even with the ultra processed foods, I think we've been speaking about earlier, you have an ultra processed Beyond Burger or something. There's been studies that show that they're way better than having the beef burgers or the bacon. So, you know, if you want your kid not to be fat, cancer riddled, and have heart problems, then yeah, it's probably best to make them a good old fashioned vegan.
Okay. I'm off. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
That's crazy.
Hey, we meet again.
Oh my god. Wait, there's no way. We got a vegan. Oh my god, we got a vegan in the chat. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's gonna hate this. Oh, he's gonna hate this. No, he's gonna hate this so much. Hey, those vegetables are Mother Earth's, not your objects, not your diet. Don't touch the vegetables in the ground.
Hey,
Dr. Jack.
Good to see you again. Sorry, we didn't get a chance to. Let me hear some of your views a bit more this time.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So I'm a Greek Orthodox Christian.
Nice.
We spend 2/3 of the year as vegans.
Nice.
But I have no issues with anything that you're describing, but I'm also not motivated by the same sort of like singular motivations. So like I'm not doing it to save the animals. I'm doing it for fasting. I'm doing it for restraint. I'm doing it for virtue development. And so in a certain sense, I wanted to ask.
Virtue signaling. That's what it is. Virtue signaling. That's what it is. That's what this guy's dude. That word. Oh my god, chat. The word from earlier. It's virtue signaling. It's 2 words.
Ask you this: if I told you there was a population of Greek Orthodox monks, they all look like Gandalf, in Mount Athos, and they've been outliving society for 1,200 years.
Yeah.
And they actually are vegetarians throughout the year, and then vegans sort of spliced in.
Yeah.
We actually mimic the same patterns. But, you know, it's so ironic to me that their goal is to pursue virtue, and as a result.
That's what it is. It's virtue signaling. Vegetarians, that's perfectly fine. I can understand that. Because, like, you're not, like vegan is too much. Vegetarian, fine. I can vibe with vegetarians because, like, I mean, you can have eggs, you can have milk. Like, you're not you just don't eat meat. Walking stick.
Result of the second, third, fourth order effects of that, they save a lot of life around them.
Yeah, great.
And what I've also noticed, a lot of vegans who seem to put and elevate the animal at the top seem to get everything sort of off balance.
Doing that though.
Like, for instance, Christspiracy. Ever heard the documentary?
No.
The guy basically claims that Jesus came to save animals. Now,
Stop fucking. Not okay to not say exploitation. What? Talking about exploiting animals? You're exploiting plants.
that might have been a third, fourth order effect.
Humans are animals.
Well, beasts of burden, okay? However you want to describe it.
You say they're animals, though, right?
I would. So are we. But the apex predator, the apex creation. You know, my colleagues here were talking about Genesis. There were only 3 promises when we left the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
It was pain. It was
Species-based discrimination. Dude, this is so funny. Dude, what? Species? Yo, oh my god. This man. Guys, oh my god, dude, that is. Oh my god, that's unreal. Oh my god. That's. Brother. Or ma'am, I don't know. But listen. Dude, I can't. No, walking stick. Okay, no, we can have a vegan, not a flat earther. No, for God's sakes, please don't summon a flat earther. Okay, like I'm trying to think of an omnivore animal. No, let's real quick. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, so we got omnivores, right? Wait, it's a flying spider. Wait, that's crazy. Dude, rats, catfish. Okay, so you're telling me, right, that if you saw like an animal that was an omnivore eat another animal, it's like, no, you can't eat that animal. That species. All right,
Plus
let's
work, it was
continue
death.
on.
Yeah.
Death enters the world so that sin would not live forever. And
Cheery
I thought what was
Christianity.
interesting is that when Noah's flood occurs, whether it's literal or not, the directive was eat meat so that sin wouldn't live as long.
Oh my
God
God.
says, like, I demand a sacrifice.
Listen. The world has become so soft that they they don't understand how cruel the world was and how quickly it could go back to that. Like, the world is not if the world was a perfect place, nobody would die. Nobody would die ever. But that's one of the unsolved mysteries of life. Right? So, oh my God, dude. This is like, so if you need to survive, you're not going to not eat something. So you're going to eat it if you need to survive. To be vegan is a luxury. I would argue that to be able to afford all those pills that you need to take, all those supplements, all that special food you buy, you have privilege. Yeah, you know what? You guys are privileged. So I don't want to hear it from you. God damn, can afford a $400 grocery list every week. Unbelievable.
Sacrifice or repentance for all the meat that's eaten as well. He didn't just go, get the hell with it. Just eat.
Bro, this stream has been an hour and a half long. We're only 45 minutes through this video. Guys, there's another 45 minutes of this. And this is only topic 2.
Meat. He goes, I want blood for, like, essentially blood for blood.
Yes, but then Solomon ends up killing enough animals that you couldn't even count them all at some point. So there's a little bit of a confusion there.
He's not too happy, is he?
But I'm just saying,
Okay,
though, is that I
I
agree
don't
that
even know
there's
what you're
this
talking
aiming,
about. Privilege
but
to
I
not
also
have
think you
to
have to be
exploit
careful
you,
as to
so
what you're aiming
exploit
for.
you.
Yeah.
And so
What? Because you can afford to pay a $400 diet and like eat whatever, eat this vegan diet. Listen, I don't like the whole like industrial farming. Like, I would rather free range. I'm cool with that. But when an industrial chicken at the supermarket is $2.99 a pound, right? And then you can buy a whole chicken for less than $10. And then you can go get tofu, a little brick of tofu for $12. How is this even an argument? Farming is specious language for exploiting. You're literally farming your vegetables. Shut up. This is stupid. You're actually starting to annoy me. You're not even giving arguments. Farming is specious language for exploiting. You're exploiting beets and vegetables. You're exploiting salad. You're exploiting soy. Do you understand? Like, do you listen to yourself? Or do you just type it out and spam enter and, like, not read it? Oh my God, dude.
I don't think we're aiming for macronutrients. We're aiming for a better world.
Yeah, can I ask you about St. Augustine of Hippo? I assume you're familiar with his work, 6th century.
Yeah.
The guy who tells us it's original sin and really makes it a thing in the
He's more of a
Christian
Latin group per people, but that's fine. Keep going.
He says we're naturally predisposed towards lying, cheating, stealing. In the atheistic tradition as well, Thomas Hobbes, English philosopher, 17th century, he says our fundamental nature is a war of every man against every man, and life will be nasty,
Plants are
bruised, and
people
short.
too.
That's our natures, right?
Yo, he would have died at that second girl. Plants are people. Oh my God. Okay, see, and then they just start asking outrageous freaking questions like that. There's no way this is a real person. I don't believe it.
Apex predator. But we know that we shouldn't lie, cheat, steal, and we
That's
shouldn't
great.
just engage in.
Wait, so you're saying kids aren't sentient? Dude, this guy is crazy, dude.
Wars, even though that's in our nature.
Sure.
We've been doing it for a long time. So the Christian view, we should transcend that. But the main thing is, even if you didn't buy these like vegan Christian arguments and you thought, again, we spoke earlier, God creates the world perfectly, vegetarian, it'll be vegetarian at the end of time. So I think that's a really strong argument. I also think that angels mistreating humans is bad. I'm sure you'd agree, so it would translate there. I think those are two really strong arguments. But even with those, you'd go, okay, it doesn't seem like the naturalistic argument gets you there either.
Could I just argue, though, that there's kind of a false dichotomy? It's like, unless you're a billionaire, you're impoverished. And what I'm saying is that I think people are sort of on a spectrum of that sort of.
Okay, wait, hold on. So, like a real talk though, like, as a vegan, because Kixie brought this up earlier, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this. As a vegan, you're not allowed to use leather, right? Because if you use leather, that's against vegan. And then second question, are there vegans that use leather and try to justify it? Because those are two questions we trying to figure out.
Sort of wellness virtue sort of line. And so, you know, I think we're still winning the war here against, let's say, unnecessary suffering or triviality.
I think pretty much it's unnecessary, not just for the animals as well, right? We're stewards of the earth.
Sure.
So when you've got 91% of all deforestation because of the cattle industry or because of animal agriculture, when 80 to 90% of all species are going extinct because of animal agriculture, that's WWF and the UN.
But 99% of all species have already gone extinct to this point in human history.
Yeah, but
or
the
in
main
history, right?
and the main driver being the consumption of animals, the destructions of the ocean.
We do not demand leather if we can help it, at least. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I think the Christian has a huge responsibility to be a good steward and not do those things. Would you agree?
Well, I would say that, you know, rain can cause floods or it can be essential for life, and I wouldn't fight floods and get rid of rain. You know, we still need the rain. So what I'm trying to say is, I still feel like the suffering argument from before is kind of still applicable now, which is that it's inevitable and it's essential.
It's not inevitable.
You don't need the rain. You can just... Oh my god. Can you help me understand? So basically, if they can avoid leather, they will. But in some cases where leather is unavoidable, they'll use it. But they will try to avoid leather if they can. Hopefully that clears it up.
Inevitable, and it's not essential.
I don't know if that's true. Come to my ER.
Well, I mentioned a second ago the Christian advert. I've mentioned this a bunch of times. The University of Oxford study, 500,000 people. I think that's really strong evidence that you don't need it.
I wrote a book on the topic. I think you're right. The point is, the difference is that the aim has to be right.
Oh, thank God, the time is up.
Pause. You've been voting.
Okay, chat. I hope this next claim is an actual claim. I hope it's not just a feeling. I hope it's a claim.
Voted out by the majority.
Please. Let's hear it.
My next surrounded claim is that factory farming is one of the worst moral atrocities in history.
Are you gonna argue because it's still happening, that's why? Does he know that slavery still exists? Like, we live in 2026 and slavery still exists. And you're gonna tell me factory farming. Where's the... Like... But see, this is where their wording is, you know, it's all in the wording of the claim. He said one of the worst. So yeah, there's a lot of atrocities, and he's going to be like, yeah, this is one of them. Bro, it's survival. People need to survive. And then... Okay. But like, so if you have like if you have coyotes in your backyard and they're coming up to your house and you know some you had an incident where they're attacking your children, does that coyote like still have a right to harass you and continue like coming to your house every night, or are you gonna get rid of the coyote because you don't want it attacking you? Like, oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna say something that you're gonna be like, I have a feeling you're gonna absolutely hate this. I think every single house in America should have complete access to a gun. Everybody should have the right to defend themselves. The Second Amendment needs to be protected. We are entitled to self-defense. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. This vegan guy might not be so bad after all. Wait a minute, hold on. I like your stat. Is this an alt account of Walking Stick? Walking Stick doesn't talk. It's just vegan logging in. Oh my God, wait a minute. No, because they go back and forth. No, it can't be. Hell yeah, brother, America. All right. Let's see who's going to run to this claim. Okay, so factory farming is not the best, but I wouldn't say it's the worst. It has fed a lot of people and kept a lot of people alive. Definitely not one of the worst. Okay.
All right, if you would like to debate this claim, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, bud. How's it going?
Hey. All right.
What was your name, sorry?
Gerard.
Nice to meet you, Gerard.
Okay, so you said one of, so I just want to get the ranking system down here. Okay, so we're going to have Holocaust up here.
Walking Stick, did you watch this already?
Is factory farming better or worse than the Holocaust?
I don't want to play top trumps with the worst things happened. I'm saying one of the worst things that's happened.
Well, I'd like to know, though.
See, it's the wording. One of. Come on, dude. Like, really? It's one of the worst? You could say the invention of cars is one of the worst. Because they cause accidents and people die from cars. Like, dude.
Like, where, because you clearly have some metric.
Do you want to hear the reason? Do you want to hear the reason and then you can respond?
Well, I want to know the ranking. So we have Armenian genocide, we've got Holocaust, where are they?
We have the Armenian genocide, Holocaust, factory farming.
I'll give you the argument. Okay. I'll be quick, and you can come straight back.
What did you... No, you said worse than the Holocaust. And that's why I'm like, did you watch this already? Because first thing bro said is, so is it...
So there are around 80 billion cows, pigs,
Holy
chickens, turkeys that are slaughtered every year for human consumption. When it comes to fish, it's in between 3 and 10 trillion. The difficulty in getting the fish is for every pound of fish you catch, you get about 3 to 5 pounds of bykill. So we're talking trillions and tens of billions. But it's not just the non-human animal suffering which is bad. Obviously, factory farming has huge impacts on people. Earlier on, we were speaking about how 30 to 60 million children die of starvation each year, 82% living in countries where the majority of the produce is fed to non-human animals. It's also true, and I'll just give you one more example, of diseases too. Yeah. According to the World Health Organization, 75% of all emerging diseases are zoonotic. Zoonotic diseases such as Ebola, swine flu, arguably COVID-19 on the fence.
Bro, y'all remember, I don't know if you guys remember, bro, but I remember there was like, this was like way back. There was like a meme, and it was like, don't give me none of that swine flu. Oh shit. What is non-human animals? Just I don't know.
Let me go through
bird flu as well. So you've got tens of millions of deaths, hundreds of millions of deaths of human beings, and the climate destruction
so
too.
First you started with the numbers of death of animals, right? Like that's a relevant metric for you. How many deaths of cows is equal to the death of one Jewish person in Auschwitz? Give me the number.
How many cows for one?
Well, because you said, I asked you why it was bad, and you said because the...
He's asking for a cow to Jew ratio. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey, you know what? Keep it open. Just keep it open, alright? Keep it open all night. Oh my god. Oh god, ChatGPT is already broken.
The number of cows that are slaughtered every year. So I'm asking you, what's your ratio? Like, how many cows dying is as bad as someone getting gassed in Auschwitz?
Well, can we extract the Jewish birth and Auschwitz?
I'm just using. I'm using the word.
Well, I don't like to
I
play.
can think of.
Well, I don't like to play into the
Are you cool?
anti-Semitic.
How about the Armenian genocide? Can we talk about that one?
How many cows are worth a human being?
That's what
I think a human being is significantly more valuable than a cow.
How much?
Why? Because a cow lives for 20 years and a human being will live for 70 or 80 years.
So a cow is, or 4 cows is roughly a
I'll
human.
give you a number. I'll say 1,000 cows.
1,000 cows is the worth of a human being. Is all human beings?
It's just an arbitrary number.
What? So you're being arbitrary? You're not locked into some sort of like metric.
No,
for
I don't
this?
know how many cows. No.
Well, but you seem to be very confident that factory farming is bad because of the numbers, right? That's the very first step.
Speciesism equals racism equals ableism. Boo hoo hoo. Salsa, welcome back.
Human beings as well. I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm saying if you
but
don't
here's,
care about
no, hold on.
animals,
You're being disingenuous on the human being. So imagine right now.
I just gave you a number. Now let's me.
No. Imagine.
Chad, you want just bring Salsa up to date. What's going on?
A world where I can create factory farming where no humans die, but the animals are still going to die.
That's not what's
You're not
happening,
going to be okay with that.
No,
right?
I'm not going to be okay.
Right, because it's not about
it's
the human
unnecessary.
Because it's not about the human being.
Unnecessary.
Right. So let's focus on your actual objection: the number of animals that are dying.
Did you hear my definition of veganism earlier?
No.
Well, you
gave several, but anyways.
I gave you one definition, and I said that veganism is an ethical rule to avoid products and practices that cause unnecessary suffering to animals. Human beings are animals, so I do care about human beings.
Right, but you don't care about human beings above and beyond cows, except I guess you do 1,000 to 1 ratio.
Why wouldn't I put human beings in there?
Well, human beings are animals, but they're
good.
They're the only ones I care about.
So I do care about human beings.
Well, you care about some animals.
No, I care about human beings because that includes in animals.
Right.
And
so,
I pointed
but let's
out
say
that there are non-human animal deaths.
But now I'm asking you, let's say there are 2 boats and one of them is going. No.
Are there hundreds
I'm
of
going to give you a
millions of
hypothetical,
deaths?
and I'd like you to answer it, please. Just briefly. I'll be very brief. There are 2 boats. One has 3,000 cows.
Number one
has a
already.
human
Just
being
came
on
back.
it.
That's
One
crazy.
of the boats will sink. Which boat will you sink?
Took number 1 from
cows,
Kick.
or will you kill a
Oh
human
my
being?
god.
I'll kill the human being.
Over 3,000 cows. Which
Hold
boat
on.
boats? One has 3,000 cows. One has a human being on it.
Tom
One of the
Reagan
boats will sink. Which boat will you sink? 3,000 cows, or will you kill a human being?
I'll kill the human being.
Over 3,000 cows. 2,000 cows? You'll kill a human being to save 2,000 cows?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I would kill 1,000,000 cows to save 1 human. What the fuck? We sent 2 motherfucking Black Hawk helicopters in a fucking jet, or in a fucking cargo plane, to go save 1 guy from the Middle East. I would sacrifice 1,000,000 cows. What kind of fucking question is that?
Yeah, what about you?
How about chickens?
What about you?
I'm saving the human every time.
An infinite number of cows?
Oh, an infinite number of cows.
Infinite number. Literal infinite number of cows. I will save the human. It's not an either or. You can just stop exploiting animals. It's a hypothetical. This guy can't even answer a hypothetical. He has to. Oh, fuck.
Have the problem of then the world would be out of cows, and I wouldn't want that to happen. But that's ultimately because of my commitment.
Any animal would you put on there? Because we're talking about veganism. Any animal you put on there?
Any non-human. No, human animals are the only animals I have moral agency for.
Okay, so how about Neanderthals, who were
Oh my god.
ancestors 40,000 years ago, who your ancestors would be having sex with, who would look just like they were.
Well, I don't really have any moral relationship with the Neanderthals. If you change the hypothetical, so I do, that'll
So
change
why
my
are humans
answer.
more valuable than the Neanderthals?
Because morality stems from our relationships with others. It doesn't stem from some weird trait like,
Oh,
do they
God.
feel pain?
Just from the relationships with
Right,
others.
because
That's
what
the
you
only
think,
thing
you think it stems from feeling pain. Right, you think it stems from feeling
where
pain.
morality
That's
comes
silly.
from?
No, yes, it does.
I
Morality
didn't
comes from
say
our
it comes
relationship.
from pain. I said any of the major world philosophies would agree with me.
Which is a great appeal to authority, and I'm very happy
It's
for
not
you.
an appeal to authority.
You
I'm
said,
saying
yes, it's
there
true
is
because
no
all the
moral
major
philosophy.
philosophies say that. So Platonism wouldn't agree with you on there. So that's
Platonism wouldn't agree with what?
that.
What? Yeah, Kingsley.
Feeling pain. That feeling pain is like.
If you don't say something absolutely outlandish, I'll give a rebuttal. But if you just say like the most ridiculous shit. I can't. I'm not even gonna respond to that. Come on.
End all be all.
If we went all back to hunting, we're all back. We're all hunters and gatherers again.
All of like what morality space.
I didn't say
That's
it was
silly.
the end all be all. I said
But
you
it's
could
what you're
derive
basing
it
your
from
morality
any
on.
moral
So if
philosophy.
tomorrow scientists came out and they said actually trees feel pain.
You think Plato's form of the good coincides with unnecessary
meat?
suffering and pain?
It coincides with eating
you
meat
think
and
once
not
you, once you
veganism.
brought
Was
together
Plato-
with
was
the form
Plato
of
a
the good,
vegan?
then you're going to be harmed.
Was Plato
forever.
a what
No, if
the-
you're brought together with the
You're
form
gonna
of the
be
good,
tortured.
you have no problem killing animals for food. That's why the people.
It's
Who studied Platonism, Plato, Aristotle, Socrates ate meat.
You think the form of the good involves unnecessary pain?
Yeah, I think we're getting a little in the weeds, but it can involve unnecessary pain on things that are not part of your moral community. Yeah, it's not relevant.
So you think a
Anyways,
Platonist would allow extreme
Yeah, I know.
suffering for trivial pleasure?
not for no good reason. No, that's going back to your first claim that it's trivial. Meat eating is not a trivial pleasure, but I'm going to
Yes,
try
it
to
is
stick
a
to.
trivial
I'm going to
pleasure.
stick
How
to
is
this
it not
claim.
a trivial pleasure?
If
How is it not a
plants
trivial
could feel
pleasure?
harm,
How is it not a trivial
hold on,
pleasure?
you can't just interrupt me
How
to
is
keep
it
the
not a trivial
conversation
pleasure?
where you
I've
want.
answered all of your questions.
You have not. I'm actually trying to ask you one.
I'm asking-
If
I have
tomorrow
one
it came
first.
out that no, you asked me
How
several. If
is
it
it
came
not
out
a trivial
tomorrow
pleasure? That's
that
my
trees
claim
could
here.
feel pain 5 times as strongly as animals,
Okay,
would you
pause.
say we can't eat trees?
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your
Yeah,
seat.
I would.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
okay. Let's see who's gonna be next, chat. Who's gonna make it to the podium?
How's it going, buddy? What's your name?
I'm David.
Nice to meet you, David.
Jack, right?
How you doing?
I'm good. So, you mentioned that you see killing animals and meat eating as trivial pleasures, correct?
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to ask you, are you religious in any way?
The religious would say I'm not, and the atheist would say I'm not an atheist either. I'm what you call a pantheist. I believe God and the world are identical. And obviously the Christians, the Jews, the Muslims have told us that that's not Abrahamic. And the atheists would say it's ridiculous to call the world God. So I'm sort of religiously homeless. But I consider myself to be a
Okay.
pantheist and a religious believer.
The world is God? What? What? The world is God.
Okay, no problem. I'm-
Trivially speaking. Go on.
Okay. I'm personally Christian.
Hey,
so,
great, cool.
Yeah, so I wanted to say that killing animals, it's not something that's binary. It's not something that's a trivial pleasure. That's
believe
something that you keep mentioning that.
Do you believe in the Bible?
Yes.
And you're
And
not
in the
ve-
Bible, in Genesis, it mentions that animals, they were created for humans to consume. right?
Genesis 1:29, the first teaching
Oh my
on it. God gives human beings a strictly vegetarian diet.
God also says
I have
in
no-
the Bible,
no.
in Genesis, that animals are.
I think it's because we're watching this video. I'm gonna be 100%, guys. Oh my god. Oh my god, you're saying discrimination and so if someone's like, I hate cats, that's discrimination against animals. If they have allergies to cats and they say I hate cats. Yeah, this is like a crazy game of Among Us. It's like, it's walking stick. You suspect.
Are meant to be consumed and killed by
After
people.
we sin. So God creates the world. Genesis 1:29, he says we're allowed to eat fruits and trees that bear seeds. Then the original sin, i.e. evil, enters the world. And at the end of time,
That's cool.
at the end
The
of time,
original sin, that has nothing to do with
at
eating
the
meat.
end of time, Isaiah 11, the lion will eat straw with the ox. So it's almost as if on the Christian tradition, the whole world is sandwiched together in veganism. God creates the world perfectly.
Okay, you can't call a lion a person. That's another you can't call a lion a person. Your argument falls apart right there. There's no more arguing. Like, you literally can't argue. A lion is not a person. A horse is not a person. A dog is not a person. It's not a person. That's the thing. It's a human being. I'm a person. These are people. A person is singular. People are plural.
We sin and live in sin, and at the end of time, we're brought together with God in vegetarianism again.
Okay. Like I was saying,
So you should be a
It's
vegetarian.
not exclusively.
Would you
It's not
say-
exclusively vegan. I'm not going to be a vegetarian.
It is
There's lots
vegan.
of-
It's
there's lots of
exclusively
benefits.
vegan. Genesis
No, it's not.
1:29 is
No, it's
vegan.
not. Noah's
How is
Ark.
he-
Noah's Ark was made for a purpose, correct? Right. So Noah, he was brought to Earth. He was
God
brought
punishing
to make,
human beings for their sin.
Okay.
And he punishes the animals
He was
too.
brought to Earth, and he was creating a ship, and he made all these animals come on a ship for them to survive and carry out their life.
Yeah.
Receiving all those
Good on
nutrients
him.
from the animals, receiving
See,
all
God cares about them.
the benefits. And, you know, they have side products too. They have byproducts, right? Animals that create all these, as you say, it's meant for trivial pleasures. They create a lot of byproducts that are helping with medicine.
Yeah, but that's a different.
That are helping with
on
clothing,
the
that are
Christian
helping-
argument,
but
God
you're-
did create the world
Because you
vegetarian.
keep mentioning that all these people are dying because people are eating meat, correct? But people are also surviving because people are eating meat. I think the trade-offs for eating meat and
So why
killing
did God
these
create the
animals,
world that way?
I don't have all the answers. I'm not
God's
God.
perfectly
I'm not
good.
God. I'm
And
not
God
God.
had to create a perfect
I'm not
world,
God. That's not the basis of my argument either. I'm just saying that animals have a lot more benefits as opposed to negative.
I'm on your.
Yes, I'm telling you right
I'm
now.
on your
I'm telling you
side.
right
I'm
now.
on your side. I'm saying
Animals have a lot more benefits as opposed to negatives. And you're talking
Definitionally,
about it's
if God
trivial.
created the world
it's not
perfectly,
trivial.
it was
That's from a
vegetarian.
very like
And
binary
then
sense
we
of thinking.
Oh my God! Now
If
it's
God
okay.
created the world perfectly, and then we sin.
We're not going to
Definitionally,
argue religion.
it's worse to eat meat
We're
than
not
to eat
arguing
meat. There's a
religion
separate
here.
argument as well.
You spoke yourself about utilitarianism, correct?
Yeah.
Is it not benefiting a greater number of people to eat meat, to consume meat, and to have all those byproducts of meat to help many people with medicine, with clothing,
No, 'cause
with
it destroys
different
the
types of
planet, it
food?
destroys
To the
what
one
is it not
person
better?
arguing
We're
for that.
supposed to
to
be
have all those
stewards of the
to
earth.
have all those products as opposed.
You might get to choose who the person is. That's crazy.
No, because we're
not
supposed to be stewards of the earth.
No,
According to Robert
no.
Goodman, 51% of all climate change is caused by the animal agriculture industry. There is no way that on a Christian worldview you can
You said
justify
51%?
factory farming.
51%.
The last two popes have both condemned factory farming in their own words. It is not a Christian worldview. David Clough, the Christian theologian, the vegangelist, he calls himself, has made this case very strongly. But there's a separate argument as well, very briefly. In Revelations 20, God cast down Satan to hell for all of eternity for the things that Satan did. There is a great chain of being on Christianity. God, angels, humans, non-human animals, plants. When the angels sin and exploit the people below them, such as Satan leading humanity astray in the Garden of Eden.
Exploit the people below them.
Yeah, leads them astray,
Go ahead,
creates
finish your
evil.
point.
Then God punishes them. So
We're
he
talking
punishes the
about
angels, even though they're more
animals.
rational,
Like,
have
we're
more
talking
free
about a
will,
cow.
have
We're
more
talking about a
powers,
chicken.
and they're
We're
closer
talking
to God
about
than
a
great
pig.
chain
We're not
being.
talking about another
He punishes
person.
them for hurting humans.
This isn't cannibalism. You're not. See, sometimes he pulls up with some like valid, maybe not valid. I would say he comes up with some compelling arguments, but then sometimes he says some crazy shit. It is hell, and it is Kicksy or Walking Stick.
Humans, he will punish humans too for hurting.
We're gonna have a
animals. God loves
debate.
even the sparrows. Matthew
I don't
10,
believe that.
Matthew 12.
I don't believe
God,
that.
what do you mean you don't
It
believe? It's the
doesn't- it doesn't
Bible. It's
say
your
that. But
scripture.
in Genesis, it does not
You don't
say
believe
that.
the Bible then?
That's not what I'm saying.
Genesis
Genesis does not say
1:29
that.
does say that.
A guy who identifies as a pantheon is trying to tell a guy who believes in Christian what the Bible says. Love it. Sentient cannibalism. Oh my God.
Pause.
That
You've
it's
been
vegan.
voted out by the
Pick it-
majority.
pick it
Please
out.
return to your seat.
Oh my
Hey.
God. The time it stopped.
Pleasure. Thank you. Cheers, dude. Yeah. You've been making a lot of movement back there. You seem a little bit, yes. Excited. What's your name?
Oh, this guy. I've been noticing his face in the background, bro. Some of the shit they be saying, they just pan to his face and he's like, what the fuck?
Sorry?
St. John.
St. John. That's an interesting name.
You know, you were talking about how, God made the idea of making it a vegetarian diet. What introduced the world to sin was Eve eating a fruit.
Classic women.
Oh. Okay, I wasn't going.
Oh, that's sexist. Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, it's a joke. English humor.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, so it was an apple, or at least that's what we
Oh,
biblically
no,
say.
it was a fruit. It could
A
have been a
fruit sometime.
watermelon. It could have been a pineapple. We're not told.
Yeah, but as far as we know, it was a fruit that, when Eve ate it, introduced sin into the world.
Yeah.
So, you could say that, oh, yeah, God didn't want the whole just to only eat meat. But it's one of the fruits is one of the reasons that sin was introduced into it. Temptation, fruit, and sin.
Yeah, it's a metaphor, though, isn't it? It's, it's an allegory. It's not actually a real. It wasn't Adam and Eve, and they didn't eat a real.
Dude, I'm reading chat, but like, oh my god, it's. It's the same argument. No, I was salsa. I was joking. We must cancel the battle. Oh my god.
Real fruit. If you think that they did, the point of God picking out that fruit was to say, don't rebel against me like Lucifer did, right? He's saying, you will do better. You're made in my image, Imago Dei, here on earth, reflects my...
The topic is factory farming. And now we're talking about religion? When do we talk about, like...
My goodness.
Okay.
So, but as I was saying a moment ago, Genesis 1:29, he creates the world vegan. God's perfect. God is the greatest of all conceivable beings. And so definitionally, if you think God is perfect and created the world perfectly, then being vegan or vegetarian is morally superior on the Abrahamic worldview, well, excluding Muslims, because they have a different creation story. If you're Jewish or if you're Christian, then that would hold.
I also want to ask, you have been a philosopher for how many years now, by chance?
I've lost count, maybe 16, 17 years.
Okay. And I believe that a majority of the ancient philosophers, they look at it through a human perspective, not an animal perspective.
Yeah.
And they are not...
Okay, so I would assume that in your mind, we should all just be hunter-gatherers. Because if you work a job, technically, your employer... okay, hold on. Do you believe that, how do I say this? Do you believe in communism? Because, like, okay, think about it, right? If you work a job, you're not making as much as your boss. So he's exploiting you. And that's exploitation. Right? Wait, I think we're finding more about this vegan guy. Guys, he said Muslim, yay, because he's happy.
Necessary thinking about the animals. It's not because they don't care about the animals. Obviously, life is important, but at the end of the day, at the social hierarchy, the more superior and more capable being trumps over, say, a cow and a chicken. Like, yes, cow.
Okay, I just want to also mention that they have talked about Adam and Eve and Neanderthals, which are two completely different ways of thinking how the world was created. Hunting is exploitation, treating animals against their interest, objects. That's... I know communism is real, so I do take...
Cows and chickens are cute and all.
Sorry, I'm not playing footsie with you.
No, you're good. But yeah, the humans are the dominant species. Top of the food chain, dominate. And there's also the philosophy, I don't remember the exact name of it, but that life consumes life. And it's not through anything malice, but it's rather just to help sustain us, because there's a lot of...
So this commits, and we heard a version of it earlier on, but your girl was just, I don't know what she was doing.
Plants matter.
Just trolling the shit out of him.
Fallacy. David Hume in the 18th century says, explanation and observation aren't the same thing as justification. For example, evolution by natural selection dictates that we have a biological drive towards having sex and reproducing. But what it doesn't do is give us a drive towards consensual sex and non...
So you just gotta, like, highlight it, right-click, search in Google. My man's learning. Hell yeah.
Consensual sex. But we'd both agree that consensual sex...
Dude, look at her face. She's like, what the fuck are we talking about?
...is more moral than non-consensual sex. Therefore, we should take that drive and do otherwise.
If you want to go the evolution route, then there's a lot of animals that have also evolved over time to be better hunters.
You've been voted out by the majority.
Oh my God.
That was fast. All right.
You're all good. Hey, nice to meet you.
Dude, this girl in the green wants to go so bad. If she goes again, she's gonna troll the shit out of him. Her face has been this entire live stream. True.
Dara?
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Dara. I'm Jack.
Nice to meet you.
God.
How goes it? What's going on?
It's going well. So, Emma, sorry for starting.
Okay, are we gonna talk about factory farming, or are we gonna go back to religion again? Because,
Again, with
like I'm not against religion, but like that's not what the debate is about.
the Christian argument.
I
thought
Yeah, what?
I thought Jesus fed people fish.
There's nothing of Jesus feeding people. Well, if Jesus was to feed people, he
Oh
would
my
have fed
God.
people fish. Yeah.
Yeah. So what? How is it like not?
It's probably the best. It's probably the best objection to all Christians should be vegan for sure. The only thing which we can say accurately from the scriptures that he probably did eat fish. He obviously, comparably, also says.
Bro, I'm struggling too. We get like a paragraph and it's like, fuck, what?
God loves even the sparrows, Matthew
Fucking
10.
made up words,
He
I
also
hate
says, in Matthew 12, when there's a lamb down a hole, he's speaking to the Pharisees. He goes, even on your day off, boys, you're going to help that lamb out of there, aren't you? And they go, why would we do that? And they go, because humans are more valuable, but it's got comparable value. It depends whether you read it allegorically or not. It depends whether you want to separate the historical Jesus from the regular Jesus.
Right.
Historically, in Palestine, Jesus would have had slaves. Jesus would have been married. It's not typically what people think Jesus is going to be.
Right, like that's
Not to be imposed on animals. Oh my god. You're like blessing a cow and the cow is like, moo. Moo. Kanye West is that? Hey, yo, Mr. West, I missed you when you were at your best. I hope this is a test
why using the Old
to show that you better than the rest. Mr. Kanye West.
Testament. It's like really outdated when you're talking to a Christian, because in the Old Testament they tell you about how to manage your slaves, and you can we all agree that slavery is not right. So if you use the Old Testament, it's really
Wait,
like
what?
not a valid argument for a Christian.
Do you think it was relevant that Jesus was a man?
No.
Palestinian?
No.
Human?
Yes.
Why?
Because he came for humans.
Just for humans, not for the whole world? I thought it made it pretty clear that it was to unite God with the whole of his creation.
That like I don't think he ever spoke about salvation of cows.
No, not
Can you,
salvation of cows, but the whole world. He made it clear that he was here for the.
And he spoke to humans. I don't think he ever like evangelized cows or like butterflies and birds and talked to them about repentance and right.
I missed the old
Jesus doesn't
Kanye.
value the non-human animals.
He didn't come here to.
Chat's so funny. I missed the old Kanye. Shakespeare really dead. How would you like someone? That's what like. Do you know anything about history? That's what history is. Like, up until probably what, 400 years ago, maybe even less. This is literally what history was. You're not my religion? Now you are. Okay. That's history.
Evangelize cows and birds.
No, because they don't speak.
Right.
They don't,
So it
they
is
don't have the
relevant that
freedom
he's
of
a
the world
human
to
and
do
not a
this.
cow, because he came to evangelize and to for the salvation of humans. So.
Yeah, but he also came. What my argument was that.
Wait, so if humans have original sin, do cows have original sin? Sadly, poetry was dead before veganism. True, poetry has been. But I remember hitting the poetry slam. I don't know.
That he also came in that time and place for Palestinians in the 1st century, but he came for all people, even though we weren't there at that time and place. And even though he was a man and a Palestinian, he's still here for you and I right now, according to the Christian tradition. And again, the Christian doesn't go, the whole of the Old Testament is a load of rubbish and we shouldn't take it seriously.
Yeah, no, at all.
And so,
it's just
so
like
when
the
so when
context
God
is
did
different.
create the world and made it vegan and vegetarian, and at the end of time, when the lion eats straw with the ox, it seems like that is better for the Christian to do.
Okay, that's okay. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there, because this is not a history class. So how can you evaluate
It's
suffering?
not a history
How can I
class.
evaluate it?
Yeah, how can you say that something suffers more than something else?
Okay,
right?
we're okay, we're back to the topic. Holy shit! Wait, oh my god, chat. Wait, we're actually we're on topic now. Holy. Vlogging sticker is crazy.
You value like the lives of all animals equally, right?
The mistake I think people make about veganism is that we think that all animals are equal. There's a level playing field, and that they're all,
So you do have a hierarchy for your suffering,
yeah.
a hierarchy for
100%.
animals, and where do you get that information from? It's not scientific, right?
Yeah, it's a blend of neuroscience. It's a blend of animal behavior and information we can get from zoology.
Salsa's been appointed the official translator. Oh god.
Just
So you're arguing that because there are like this amount of cows and they have this amount of nervous terminal, then that equates to like this amount of humans.
yeah, if you look at the neck of a chicken, a cow, or a pig, you'll find that it's got very similar nerve endings and bundles of
Okay,
nerve
so
endings
you
to a
did all the
human being.
mathematics to decide that it
It's not
was more.
mathematics. If you've got the same nerve endings on your neck and you've got a developed
You
brain
need to
and
do
nervous system,
mathematics to create that hierarchy, and I'm not saying that
maths,
I'm not saying
know
that
maths.
it's not a
I'm not good at
strategy.
maths. I can't do maths. I'm saying if you slit my throat and you slit a cow's throat, you're going to feel a very similar amount of pain.
Okay,
What? What? What the hell did he just say?
I'm not saying that it's not a
I'm not good at
strategy.
maths. I can't do maths. I'm saying if you slit my throat and you slit a cow's throat, you're going to feel a very similar amount of pain.
Who's gonna feel the pain? Who? What? For you'll be fishers of men. Christ-piracy documentary? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay,
Salsa's translating.
It's a sensible inference.
Okay, how
They've got
many,
developed
like-
nervous systems? How many what?
how many like nervous systems? Like how
How many nervous
like
systems?
why
What
like nervous terminals? Well, how are you comparing that? How do you know
How do I know? Because you look
that
at
the
the same
cow
nerve.
and the chicken and the
Well, I don't know about
human-
you either. But you have to make a central inference. This is Descartes' problem of other minds, but there are central inferences that you can draw on the basis of it. Such as how
So if
developed
you
the
don't
brain
know
is,
all this
such as
information, how do you
I
make
do,
the
I just-
hierarchy?
Well, if I slit your throat now, would that be bad? I don't
Okay,
know whether you can
pause.
suffer or not.
Pause.
Pause. If I slit your throat now, pause. Pause.
The
I just-
hierarchy.
Well, if I slit your throat now, would that be bad? I don't
Okay,
know whether you can.
pause.
Oh my god. If I slit your throat now, would it be bad? Oh my god.
Suffer or not.
Pause. You've been
Sorry,
voted
that
out by the
sounded really
majority.
threatening at the end. I didn't want to end on that note. Hey, you're good. You're an animal as well, so I wouldn't slit your throat. We're good. We're good. Nice to meet you too. Hey, dude. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Vidor.
Vidor. I like your shirt. It's
Thank you.
nice.
I like.
Hey,
it too.
Kixie represent.
I ain't got long, so
I agree.
This guy's not addressing exploitation, so he's not really vegan. Dude, the whole conversation has been about religion. The thing he brought up was factory farming, and he hasn't even talked about it. How can I argue factory farming when they're talking about fucking religion? I know I'm even saying factory farming is good, but like they're talking about religion. What the fuck is this?
Agree. Your points about veganism and your definitions are very correct, but I disagree with the claim that you just made about it being the biggest atrocity in the world.
Yeah.
Because I think the biggest atrocity would be people dying and
It was
starving.
the biggest atrocity. It was one of.
One of the biggest atrocities, but I think one of the biggest
My man's bringing it back to the conversation. Let's go. Thank you.
atrocities would be people dying and starving in places like Mongolia
Agreed.
or in places like Antarctica, where growing plants is maybe harder. And where major consumption of food is through meat. And
I agree with you completely,
It
and
do-
that's why I said veganism is a practical rule
It
to
is.
do it as far as possible. And also, as I mentioned
It doesn't
earlier,
justify,
the
like,
majority of these children are starving in countries where the produce is fed to the
Right.
fed to the animals, and I think zoonotic diseases taking tens of millions of lives is bad. So even if you don't care about non-human animals, you should be vegan for the sake of human beings as well.
Yo, her face, bro.
Even if
I don't
you don't
think
care
her
about
face.
non-human animals, you should be vegan.
This lady's face has not changed the entire. Bro, it's been an hour. Her face has not changed. She's had the same facial expression for literally an hour ago. Veganism is not about practice, it's about the root problem. What do you mean it's not about practice? So if like you're like, oh, I'm vegan, but I eat chicken, but I know the root problem of it. You're not vegan. 'Cause what? Dude, trust me, I have been outsourcing is peak. That's Bro, I wish I didn't turn the live. I don't know why I turned the live replay off for chat. I wish I could turn it back on or add it at the end or something. Cause like, oh my god, dude, this is crazy. Chat is crazy today. It's good. We have a good chat today. I think I can. I think at the end I can turn it back on. Oh, I also have top chat only. And potential spam will not be visible. Oh, walking stick. So that's why. Sometimes it doesn't show because anything that's, I guess I don't have the all like complete live oh, that's okay, that makes sense. As an American.
Vegan for the sake of
All right.
human beings as well. Join me. Convert. Are you there?
I told you it's a cult.
Vegan?
No, yeah.
You can take my seat.
I was vegetarian for like 6 months, but you know.
Come back.
Yeah, but I think I feel more like myself.
Can we have you back in the chair later? Can we have him back? The timer's gone.
Oh yeah, you definitely can choose someone later.
Oh, cool. Yeah, nice one. Great. I might
Oh
see you
my
later.
god.
I don't want to.
He wants to convert. Oh my god. If you do not think a sentient being is an object for their species, you will not see them as a means to an end, but an end in itself. Bro, who said poetry was dead, bro? All this guy is, all he's saying is poetry. Yeah, I need a translation too. I probably won't be the best at this whole translation thing. Just copy and paste it into Google and be like, or copy and paste it into Chat GPT and be like, explain it to me so I understand, and then paste it in chat.
Shoot everyone down just yet. Thanks, everyone. My final surrounded claim is that veganism is good for the world and humanity.
If you would like to debate this claim,
I mean, it's not bad. Again, what is this like debate? Like, if you don't want to eat animals, don't eat animals. But if you're gonna say veganism is like pushing people to not eat animals, then I'd say it's bad. Because stop pushing your values onto people. Stop virtue signaling. No one wants that shit. ChatGPT will be live with chat. Bro, listen. I don't understand, like, what is your point? Like, what's the whole point? If you don't want to eat it, don't eat it. If other people want to eat it, let them eat it. I'm about letting people do as they please. But telling people or trying to force people to, like, convert or stop eating meat, it's not gonna work. The only thing I've learned from this debate is if you don't want to eat animals, then don't. If you do, then do. Literally, like, bro, this is the only facts I can speak is that eating is not addressing the negative of treating animals as objects. That's exploitation. Okay, your definition of exploitation is probably maybe a little... Well, you know what? I wouldn't even say it's exploitation. I say we have the same definition. I wouldn't say it's exploitation. I'd say it's utilization. We are utilizing the resources as an instrument not in their interest. I'm gonna exploit my leftover chicken. We're talking about sentience here. This is where this conversation ends up, right? When you appeal to this bullshit, you get into this conversation. Oh, is it sentient or not? I don't care. Even if it was, it tastes good. I like my chicken. I like barbecue chicken. I like even on the off occasion some lemon pepper chicken. Seriously. It's crazy. Is he really live 24/7? Okay, well, wait, what? Actually have a 24/7 live stream going? Hold on. No way. Actually, there's a live stream going. Okay, no. I'm sorry. What the... Brother. What is that?
Get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Jack, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Alex.
Nice to meet you. Okay, so two things first. Speak up a little bit.
Yeah,
I have
you
selective
got it.
hearing.
Do-
And
I have selective
don't do
hearing.
religion, 'cause I'll just ignore
Yeah, let's
you.
ignore it. Do you want to hear just, I'll be brief, I'll give you the reasons.
Sure.
You can tell me where it goes wrong.
Yeah.
So it's good for the world more generally because it's one of the leading causes of climate change. It's good for humanity as well. Let's just take zoonotic
we
diseases.
gotta, let's see, we gotta read chat here. But they're not resources, they're persons. They're not persons. Okay, that's where your argument already falls off. They're not persons. For their own and form their own reasons through sentience? No, they don't. Do you not, like, we have surpassed, like, the consistent fight or flight, but you still have fight or flight within you as a human. That's all animals have, is fight or flight. So, like, I don't, what is this, like? It's
As an example, so 75% of all zoonotic diseases that are emerging, according to the World Health Organization, are those that come from non-human animals. That's really dangerous because we haven't built up natural immunity to them. One of the leading
Wait,
theories-
okay, hold on, wait, I want to hear what
good
this guy is.
for the world
He
more
knows
generally
this.
because it's one of the leading causes of climate change. It's good for
Oh, it's shawarma. That's, yeah, you know what? That's my response. Shawarma. Chicken shawarma.
humanity as well.
All right, hold on. Let's see what he
I
has.
have selective
Okay.
hearing. And
Okay.
don't do religion, because I'll just ignore
Yeah, let's
you.
ignore it. Do you want to hear just, I'll be brief, I'll give you the reasons.
Sure.
You can tell me where it goes wrong.
Yeah.
So it's good for the world more generally because it's one of the leading causes of climate change. It's good for humanity as well. Let's just take zoonotic diseases as an example. So 75% of all zoonotic diseases that are emerging, according to the
Stop, I'm trying to watch this video. Specious language is no excuse for speciesism. I get.
World Health Organization.
It's not eating and killing, but exploiting. So you're okay with hunting? Falafel. I love you, Kixie. That's so spooky. Falafel. Say more. Say more. Chicken curry. Hunting is. So you're okay with like vultures then? So if the animal's already dead, eating and killing it. Wait, so how do you kill something without exploiting it? If you can't hunt, how do you kill something with what? Dude, I'm trying to like, dude, I can't even like process this. That this is like, dude, I can't believe this. I really hope it's not a real person, but I know it is. And that's what the worst part about it is. Like, there's no way. Being from any discrimination. Oh my God.
Are those that come from non-human animals. That's really dangerous because we haven't built up natural immunity to them. One of the leading theories, according to the World Health Organization, or what they think is the leading cause of COVID, was the wet market in Wuhan, killed 8 million people. Again, I'm not interested in like debating the cause of COVID, so let's just go Ebola, swine flu, and bird flu, obviously coming from birds. So I think that if you don't want vaccinations, we don't want mandatory lockdowns, we don't want forced masks, and we don't want tens of millions of people of dying in the future.
Sir,
One
we're
of
on
the biggest
top,
risks
baby.
to humanity.
Oh my, I gotta get like the dun 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 dun, and then the Eagles. Oh my God, I gotta get that as a soundboard. Oh my God.
Is going to be zoonotic diseases, so I think that's a really strong reason. And then the refugees and all of the climate destruction and the deaths that are going to come from climate change. So I think those are two.
Boo-hoo. 100% butter chicken.
Really good reasons.
Okay, so I've got two really important things that I want to ask you. So, animal testing.
Yeah.
For all of the devices, immunizations, they need to, per the FDA, do animal testing first so that they get approved for human use. So, are you saying that shouldn't be a thing?
Yeah, there's a researcher at Cornell University.
They would rather sacrifice humans for testing. Yeah, because how else are you gonna figure out if a vaccine works or not? It must be insufferable. Oh my god.
University, a biochemical engineer that thinks only 6% of all of the experiments done on non-human animals transfer. Harry Harlow was the chief editor of one of the biggest journals in this area. He looked at 2000.
Where's the research?
I can't.
So he looks at 2005.
Where's the research?
I'm giving it you now.
No. I want to know who wrote the paper.
Oh, Harry Harlow, the editor of the Journal of Comparative and Physiological Psychology.
Really? And you think that's enough to prove your point?
He looked at 2,500 articles and he said, quote, most of the observations, most of the data is not worth publishing and most of the experiments are not worth doing.
So you're...
He's straight from the horse's mouth.
No, hold on. So
Right.
you're basing what you just said on one person's opinion.
No, I just told you 6%.
No, his opinion on what a whole bunch of other people
He's one of the
have done.
experts in the area, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
okay.
also said that the biochemical engineer at Cornell said the same.
So you'd be comfortable with
That's
like
Michael Schuler.
Okay. So anyway, can I
Richard
finish? No, can I fucking finish? Thank
Okay, let's say I 5 times real quick.
you.
Excuse me.
I grew up in New York. Would you have just wiped out animal testing altogether from the beginning?
Oh,
never done it?
Damn
I think,
walking stick.
well,
Oh
we
my
wouldn't
god.
have had several vaccinations if we tested them on animals first. I think that the argument most often given here is for cancer research, and it's shown to have virtually no effect whatsoever. So I think that's one reason that if you're going to test it, you test it on human beings.
All right. Well, I
Nice, let's go. Human testing. Hell yeah. Human testing. Yeah, let's test on humans. Let's get the unemployed $500 per test. Yeah. Oh, fucking retarded that sounds. Unfucking believable, dude. This is like... This guy wants you to eat soy burgers and test on humans. Like, what the fuck is this? Seriously? Like, seriously?
politely disagree with
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was polite, but thank you.
I didn't say.
Pause. You've been voted out.
Wait, what is it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was polite, but thank you.
I didn't say.
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please
Oh,
return to your seat.
Hey, we're good. We good?
Yeah.
Oh my
nice
God.
to meet you, Alex. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey,
Wait, are you
Hey.
thinking because like you're like, oh, is it a person, place, thing, or an object? And you're like, well, then they have to be a person. Dude, I would be running
Hey,
to
nice
stand
to meet you,
up,
Brian.
stand up too, dude.
So, I
Those
would
chairs. Oh my
say
god. Got hardwood chairs.
Veganism is not good for the world. And my number one point is burgers. Have you ever
Burgers.
had a burger with cheese on it?
Yeah.
Have you had a burger? And what do you think?
I think that people aren't the experts they think about their own mind. Giovanni Savani did a study in 2023 where he looked at 175 people and give them
Good.
blind taste tests and informed taste
No,
tests.
I low-key heard that it is super hot. Like, they got like the heat cranked up in there, like.
Tests. The majority couldn't figure out which one was the beef burger and the plant-based burger, and when on the informed taste test, they all preferred the plant-based burger over the beef burger. So no, I don't buy it. When we look at what people do when they're not in this debate setting, it's not clear that they prefer it.
But I would say that I prefer
Yeah, of course you
like
would.
cheeseburgers, like real cheeseburgers. And I could tell the difference. I have like really good taste buds.
Yeah.
So I really like when it's not like fake cheeseburgers.
Yeah, go for it.
I prefer like they taste like.
But you understand there are going to be limits to this, right? You like doing lots of things. I assume you like having sex as well, but you
Oh,
certainly,
hell yeah.
you certainly
This guy
wanna-
wants to put.
I imagine that you want to get it in an ethical way.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh,
But
that's good.
I
So
think I can get. I mean, if I just go to like the store and buy a burger, that's pretty ethical to me.
Well,
but my other argument, you
let
mentioned.
me give you this question. You can have sex and it was unethical, non-consensual, but it was great, or you can have the consensual sex and it's not quite as good. Which one do you pick?
Probably a cheeseburger. I think. I
Wait.
think you.
I was reading chat.
I imagine that you want to get it in an ethical way.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh,
But
that's good.
I
So
think I can get. I mean, if I just go to like the store and buy a burger, that's pretty ethical to me.
Well,
but my other argument, you
let
mentioned.
me give you this question. You can have sex and it was unethical, non-consensual, but it was great, or you can have the consensual sex and it's not quite as good. Which one do you pick?
Probably a cheeseburger. I think.
Which one do you pick out of the two of
Well,
them?
you said.
Oh my god, this is so funny. This guy is hella chill. This guy is so chill. It's so funny.
Which one do you pick out the two of them? Just pick one.
The ethical,
Don't pick the non.
Well, the ethical one, but I would
That's a
choose a
good call.
cheeseburger
So the
over sex any day.
So the analogy
I feel,
works.
okay.
I would choose it. Dude.
Can I make another point?
Of course.
Okay, thank you.
I'm glad we agree on that, though.
Absolutely. My other point would be you mentioned a lot of athletes, right? You were talking
Yeah.
about athletes, boxers. I don't know boxers too well, but I know basketball players.
Mm.
And the
Agree.
best
This
basketball
is
player in the world,
right?
LeBron James,
Yeah.
he eats all the meat. So I'm gonna eat the meat, and I'm gonna become like a really good athlete. That's how I feel like. Like all the best athletes in the world are eating so much meat.
Well, not all the best athletes in the world. I gave you some examples. No,
LeBron James, he's the best
Okay,
one.
pause.
He's my mentor.
You've been voted out by the majority.
Awesome.
Hey, get yourself a Beyond Burger, dude.
Hell no, never a Beyond Burger.
Hey, go ahead. That was a big jump.
Right. Well, I am Mario.
Is that your name, Mario?
Yes, it is.
Hey, nice to meet you, Mario.
All right, so bad for the world, you say.
This guy's a Discord mod. 100% this guy's a Discord mod. Did you hear that? Bad for the world, you say? Because I'm hungry, that's why. I want the burger. I want the hamburger. Walking stick, I think you might be right. GG's.
Mario.
All right, so bad for the world, you say. See these two here? These are opposable thumbs. We evolved these in order to hunt better. These two pair of legs, bipedal. We are bipedal to become better hunters. Even communicating with each other, we've evolved to become better hunters. Our entire existence as human species has been around eating meat.
Oh my
And for you
God.
to just say all of a sudden, to be like, oh, you shouldn't do that anymore, is kind of asinine.
Asinine? Sorry, I don't know that word.
It's just it's the audacity to just like assume
So it's
that everyone-
audacious.
Audacious.
I didn't
yes.
say everyone. I said everyone should aim to be for a start.
Aim to be.
And your
yes.
argument makes the naturalistic fallacy. We've spoken about it a bunch of times. There are loads of things that evolution
Oh,
by natural
God.
selection dictates that we should do that says descriptively, we can give an explanation for it. That doesn't mean we should do that thing.
Okay.
No, but no, because he argued back with someone in chat.
Here's another question.
We
Let's
evolved
go
to,
with-
we've engaged in how many
Dude,
wars?
100% Discord
True.
mod.
And we shouldn't keep doing that, agreed?
We shouldn't. We shouldn't.
And why shouldn't we, and why shouldn't we, and why shouldn't we do that?
I don't know if you should bring this one up right now.
Why, we
Let's
evolved
go
to,
with-
we've engaged in how many wars?
True.
And we shouldn't keep doing that, agreed?
We shouldn't. We shouldn't.
And why shouldn't we, and why shouldn't we, and why shouldn't we do that?
I don't know if you should bring this one up right now.
Why, answer, why shouldn't we do that? Why shouldn't we engage in war?
Because it's killing our own people.
But only humans count?
Yes.
Why?
I don't think that's
Everything
I'm saying,
gives it
because
away.
we
What do
are
you
human.
mean?
Newsflash,
So
we're
it's-
both human.
So it's
You should put a capture before entering chat. That's great.
circular. Humans matter because they're humans.
I could do a.
And why do humans matter? Because they're humans?
Yes.
So it's a circular argument.
I would, you know what?
Unfortunately, I don't think that's possible.
I can.
Well, let me ask you this: if the human was dead and one was alive, which one would you give the better treatment?
The one that is already that's still
the one
living,
that's alive. Yeah. So
Yes.
it's not just about being human; it's about being a living human. The conscious human or the non-conscious human. The one that can feel pain and pleasure. The one that's got freedom of the will. The one that's got projects, long lives to live. It's not just the fact they're human.
Projects? What fucking projects do animals have? What project does a cow have? Eat grass? That's the project? Listen, this guy can't be real.
There are lots of intrinsic values to being a human being that are comparable to other non-human animals.
Absolutely. So,
Oh, no,
okay.
absolutely, that's great. So
Okay,
it's not just
so
because
here's-
they're human.
here's the thing.
And it's
Okay,
comparable
let's
to
say-
the other animals.
let's
Would
say-
you agree with that then? So you've
No,
changed
I
your
wouldn't
mind.
say. I wouldn't say it's comparable to
You're
animals.
fundamentally
even
wrong.
Earlier,
You said
you
okay,
just
so you
said.
changed your
Even
mind.
you just said.
Just
to someone.
No, I don't
to
want to.
someone
I don't
for
want a new
vegan-
argument. I want the thing we're talking about. I don't want to move the goalposts. You said being human is valuable because it's human, and then you've listed a bunch of things that are valuable about being human, and they count for non-human animals as well.
No, they don't, because animals
So
do not.
animals
have,
aren't conscious.
They do not have.
Animals aren't conscious.
They are
Are they not
conscious.
alive?
They are alive.
They can
Well, so
feel
are plants.
pleasure
but
yeah, but they're not
plants are
conscious.
alive. Okay, so animals don't have the level of consciousness that
What
humans
does
have.
level of consciousness mean?
So they don't feel as much empathy.
Like
or-
an elephant,
or
when it
like-
comes across another dead elephant, will cry even if it doesn't know it. Is that
That
not
is
empathy?
true, but they
How come the
don't
gorilla
have a
cried
sense
when
of
its kitten
future.
died? That's
But
empathy.
regardless,
Are we eating elephants? We're not eating elephants. We're talking about cows and chickens. Has this guy ever seen what a chicken looks like? What? I know, dude. That's what I'm saying, walking stick.
also say that
I don't know, dude. Biryani's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. But you can't go wrong with the shawarma. Dude, I'm hungry. Shit.
you think you're doing so much to help these animals, but let's put an example here. We have two baskets in a grocery cart. One is a pound of carrots, and the other is a pound of rotisserie chickens. Let's say 3 of them. 3 rotisserie chickens versus 1 pound of carrots.
It's some bad shopping right there, dude. I
Right.
think
Well, yeah, obviously. But it's just an example. But
It's just the meat and,
said carrots had just arguably more death involved in getting those carrots to the
Now he's what? Yeah, this guy's a little sus. Very sus.
grocery store.
Kixie finally understood. He's like, oh, I know what that means.
Or then those 3 chickens because of all the pests and rats and rabbits.
We've been over this. 80% of the soy is.
Dude, it is a bot. It has to be, bro. You're just throwing in random quotes. Like, there's no way bro has these quotes, like, fired up, ready to go, dude. There's no way.
Given to non-human animals, factory farming, 40 to 1 in your calories.
I'm not defending.
So if you want to reduce, crop deaths by 75%,
You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to
But
your
cheers,
seat.
thank you, Mario. You take care.
Ew, look at the way that guy put his hand out.
Majority,
Dude.
please return to
But
your
cheers.
Look at that. Look at fucking.
Yes, thank you, Mario. You take care.
What, he just got like a notepad with these things lined up? Oh, chat, this guy, dude, look who's first. Oh, she's gonna troll the absolute shit out of him. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, I can't wait. No, she didn't make it? Oh my
Sorry, remind me of
god.
your name. It's B. How you doing, B?
Good. Okay, so let me ask you something. Do you eat corn?
Not really.
You don't eat it?
It's not
corn.
for me, no.
Okay, but vegans do eat corn. It is. You would consider corn vegan.
I think I'd consider corn vegan.
Okay, so I mean, if you're saying that everybody should strive, or the best they can to become vegan, then some vegans are going to choose to eat corn.
Yeah.
Okay, how is corn grown?
But see, now he's responding to you guys in chat. So who knows? Oh my god, what if I'm telling him to? Oh my god, what if it's programmed? Oh my god.
You put it in the ground, you put water on it, you put sunlight on it.
Okay, but it grows in soil.
Yeah.
And how does soil grow?
How does soil grow?
Well, how does soil grow plants?
Doesn't grow.
No, how does soil grow the plants? What does soil
The
need?
nutrients in the soil.
And what are the nutrients from?
Come on, dude. What is it?
Where do the nutrients come from?
The sunlight and the water?
Not the sunlight anymore. We don't have enough sunlight.
Come on, just get from the animals that are grazing on the
Fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are used to grow corn.
So what's the problem? Just jump to it. We haven't
Okay.
got too long.
Okay.
I want to know the contradiction.
So the point is, you're saying that we want to do better for the environment.
Of course.
Would you say that fossil fuels are good for the environment?
I would say using fossil fuels should be avoided. However, the whole of the animal agricultural industry, according to the UN and one of the most conservative figures, is the animal agricultural industry, all of transport combined, every plane, train and car. Put that next to factory farming and the animal agriculture industry. Animal agriculture is more. And once you account for
Right.
deforestation,
Yummy.
Okay, but wait a
deadlands,
minute.
and the emissions from the animals, just very quickly, I'm literally going to finish. And once you account for all the side effects of it too and all the waste, then it becomes about 3 or 4 times as
But
much.
cows don't need to eat corn. What do cows normally eat?
They can eat grass, they can eat...
Exactly, grass.
Yeah.
So if we just fed cows grass, their natural diet, which is actually healthier for them, which would actually prohibit
What does
E. coli
overgrazing do?
And excuse me?
Overgrazing creates dead zones. Yeah. 35% of all the U.S.
Okay,
mainland is
let me
used
ask you
for
this.
growing cattle.
But if we went back to a
I know,
hunting
it's-
gathering society, and I know that
Look, we're almost done. We're almost done, alright? We're almost done, guys.
How many
This has been a long react video.
very.
And how many people could
because
that
for
sustain?
10,000 years we've
How
been
many people
doing
could that
agriculture.
sustain?
Well, it would sustain the people that live within that area. What has happened?
How many people could the world
but
sustain?
it's a phantom capacity.
Oh my god, wait, I just realized the other video I have tabbed up right here. I think Vegan would lose his mind, his or her mind, if we started watching that video. But after this one, it's Beard Meets Food.
Right now because of the growth
We will.
of grains, the growth of grains and corn
17
have caused overproduction, which now people are more dependent on
want
it.
hunter-gatherers?
So I'm saying if we taught people how to actually get food
You can
within
only
the areas
yeah, you
that
can
they
only
are in,
and
and you do regenerative farming, which is actually
So you
very
don't want
beneficial.
hunter-gatherers.
Well, we can do a hybrid.
So how,
Because we're at this point.
you're not going to have. We've got
we
8 billion
could.
people.
We
And
could.
you want 17 million.
Well,
and it's not
how did we
necessary.
get 8 billion people?
Reproducing, having sex.
But how?
I'm not going to give you that lesson here. On
Okay,
camera.
come on.
You need to feed them.
I'm being dead serious.
I know what she's
So
getting at.
We have taken our food production, right, dispersed it throughout the world. We have made people dependent on us as opposed to being dependent on the land that they live in and teaching them how to actually survive in their own
Do you
areas.
think the current animal agricultural industry is destroying the planet and destroying wildlife?
I think the current
Yes or no?
production of feeding
Yes
them
or no?
corn
Yes or no?
and diets
is
they
the current
are
animal
not.
agricultural industry destroying the planet?
I think factory farming is,
Yes
of course,
or
and I
no?
disagree. I
Yeah,
disagree
not
with
just factory
farming.
not just factory farming, current animal agricultural practices.
No, I don't. I can't. Do you have?
Yeah, but if you want cattle raised on grass, you have to engage in deforestation or
What about
use
buffalo?
land.
What if we bring
So
buffalo
90
back?
so
Because a
use
lot of this area has
91%.
had buffalo.
My mind is actually present with a bearing on discrimination. Bro.
Buffalo.
It's not
We ate-
necessary. Why are you trying to jump through every single
why would
hoop
it be,
to keep
why would-
eating meat?
Because
Why
I
don't
would
you just
eat.
not
I
do
would
it?
eat buffalo. It's a natural animal
Cool.
that has survived in North America that we wiped out when the Europeans came over here, right? We wiped it all out. We put agriculture into our country, right?
Yep.
And now we are stuck in this, what has been created
So-
from 10,000 years ago.
So
We-
either go catch yourself a buffalo or get a plant-based diet.
No, well, maybe I will. I will.
So you're
You
gonna
know
catch the
what?
buffalo?
Good pause
Maybe
here.
I will.
You're gonna be a
Oh
vegan?
god. Oh
No,
no,
we're gonna
lady,
catch that
no.
Well, let me know when you do.
I will.
I've got a strong bet against you.
Okay.
Please return to your seat.
Thank you.
Bro, hit
see
that
you again.
runner man on that.
Okay.
Is
my
my
first
question.
Oh, sorry. Apologies.
I actually do have a general question for you. I do think you make a lot of valid points, and I'm learning a lot there. What would be the
Which ones do you think were valid?
Well, I don't agree with factory farming. So
Okay,
yeah, that's where we have common
And,
ground.
and the conscientious farming,
Yeah.
slitting an animal's throat, debeaking it.
Then yeah, we're on
Bad
the
as
same
well.
page there.
Okay, so that's basically all farming.
No, it's not all farming.
Well, 998 for 1,000 chickens are factory farmed, and the other 2 are probably conscientiously farmed. So you got no chickens now.
Okay, so the question.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah.
But we agree on so much there
Yeah,
because
we agree
I
on
think if you're going to go, 99.9% of all animal consumption.
Oh my god. You know, honestly, big up to the vegan guy. Dude, he is actually. Dude, you can't fight someone whose ego is stronger than, like. Dude, you can't. He's too powerful.
Consumption is bad, and I don't think I should
my
do
gosh,
it, and I'll take the
Salsa.
steps to do it. Then that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's fine. I'm happy with that. Desert island scenarios where it's forced, you have to pick between you and the pig. That's never going to happen to you, so I don't think you need to worry about it. So, like, if you agree with me that far, then we're basically on the same page. We're doing the trivial stuff now. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so yeah, and this is what would be the economic impact of us not having a agricultural farm based.
Yeah. So, given the fact it's one of, if not the leading cause of climate change, the World Bank think you're going to lose about 10 to 20 trillion dollars of net GDP by 2100. That's, if we've got 100 trillion in global GDP at the moment, taking 20% out of it's going to have huge effects for the whole world.
What about the job market?
Wow.
Well,
What a
taking
gas.
20 trillion out, it's a really bad.
How would you replace that? I don't see how that in some
economies, this is a big export
What's
and a
happening?
very, very big thing. So how would you replace
Yeah, it's a big export in places where the people are starving, especially. So if you switch to plant-based
actually saw
agriculture,
that.
for a start, you're not going to
Yeah.
lose that 10 to 20 trillion if we
Okay, no, I'm convinced he's a bot. He has to be a bot. There's no way. What are these? Dude, no, this isn't real. This person isn't real. I think it's just.
to take the necessary steps on climate change.
Oh my
And the
God.
people who are engaging in animal agriculture at the moment, they switch to plant-based
Oh,
agriculture.
is it actually? Oh, I get it. When I pause it, it's blinking.
Do you have any ideas, Matty?
No,
I don't think so.
I'm asking
Switch
you.
the plants for the animals, yeah.
And so there would be, you think there'd be no supply chain issues, there'd be no issues for us switching from in an ideal world, right? So
Yeah.
in your ideal world where we're 100%
I think the cost of not doing it is just, it's monumental.
Okay, but do you understand that the way you type and you don't respond to anybody else makes it seem like you're not a real person? Can you see that? Time out, bro. Wait, do I have any? Oh, I don't. Hold on. Oh, I have to do it here. Hold on. Congratulations, walking stick. You've been promoted.
Monumental. When you look at 250 million excess deaths, we're talking about climate again. And some of the crazy ones like Robert Pierce think it goes to about 1 billion excess deaths. Like these numbers are astronomical, right? And there's no recovering from going to 2 or 3 degrees over.
I speak profound truth. It's while they haven't taken me down. Probably too confident in programming you. Bro. See, I think it's just a troll. It's funny.
And the zoonotic deaths as well because of the crossover in diseases. And so the cost that it's going to have to the global economy because of the excess deaths, like the 70,000 extra people.
Because you have helped out substantially, walking stick. And you do show up. So I believe in you.
People being displaced every year again, leading cause being animal agriculture and being the global emergency in terms of climate change. So you've got a lot of people moving around as well, and these things are awful for the economy.
Okay, pause here. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Cheers, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, so if you see something that you don't like, and I'm busy watching, I trust your judgment.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you again. All right.
What have you been thinking about?
So I've been thinking about specifically the humanity part. Being vegan, good for humanity. Humans like you and me. You won't like
Virtue signaling. Yep. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, they love to virtue signal. Hell yeah.
this. I'm a chef, so I cook with a lot of food all the time. I do cook vegan dishes, but a lot of animal products I use.
What vegan
dairy
dishes
products.
do you make? What's your best vegan dish?
From what I remember, arugula endive bowl. I've got arugula, endive, figs. Actually, never mind. There's goat cheese in that. Sorry, forget that. But
It's worth a go.
From my experience and the research I've done,
Yeah.
you need.
No, it's not that. Only I can give mod. And it's just like a standard mod. Oh my god, they are for their species. For their species.
At least some animal product to survive. Because, like, a lot of the vegan diet is good. A lot of it's good, the fruits and veggies and everything. But
what makes you think that, though?
What makes me think the meat is good? Because
No, what makes you think that you need to eat meat to survive and thrive?
Because I found out recently, I've been doing a lot more of a health to get in better
God.
shape, and I found that the more protein I eat from
Hell
meat,
yeah.
chicken, steak,
They
it
proud
gets
of
me
you?
more bulk. It helps me get the vitamins and minerals I need. And I know what you might say.
Yeah.
Hey, what about the B12 vitamin? That's good.
No,
I feel
no,
like you
that
talk
was-
about B12 so much, you sound like my sister trying to convince me that her friend's so great. Like, oh, you got to try B12. She's great.
Well, B12 is good.
Well, let me-
B12 is good. You
so-
should hang out with your sister's friend. That seems like a good idea.
Yeah,
But
but
no, I was
here's the
going to
thing.
say with protein.
May I finish this first?
Yeah, of course.
if I do, yes, let's say I strictly to the B12 vitamins. Oh yeah, I get the minerals I need.
Yep.
What are you gonna do about the calories? Because you get rid of the meats, and you cut out that calorie, but you also cut out a lot of the calories that you need to survive. Because if we become too malnutrition,
like you need the fats, the oils, like where you can't have butter, you can't have milk, can't have eggs, bro. Don't eat a pastry again. Enjoy having flat, gluten-free bread because that's all you're gonna be able to eat. Like, you need
nutrition
you
in your
need,
individual,
you need eggs.
will die. Because I recently discovered.
But again, I gave the studies a bunch of times. The overall health outcomes are what matters. So when you're less likely to die on veganism because of health concerns than you are on eating meat.
Have you
So
heard
less
of...
likely to... I'll just let you finish, and I'll be brief.
Okay.
I'll make sure you've got
Be brief.
time. I'm
Sure.
aware that you haven't got much.
Yes.
You're less likely to develop cancer. You're less likely to have the heart disease. You're less likely to have diabetes, be obese. Yes. Can you replace...
Well, yeah, I hope they're healthy. I don't want to eat sick animals. What?
Those things in terms of you want calories, you want to bulk up. Yeah, like in proteins you mentioned, seitan has 80 to 100% more.
You heard that? He said Satan. He said Satan. It's all coming together, guys. Illuminati.
More protein per calorie than a sirloin steak. That's significant. Tofu more than eggs. Soy milk over whole milk and semi-skim milk.
All right, let me ask you. So obviously we want to not
sick
die.
Animals are sick.
So have you heard of, I'm going to mess up her name, I'm going to butcher it, Johanna Somosonova.
No.
She was a Russian vegan influencer that died at the age of 39. And
what did she die of? You haven't got long.
Her own family members say that she died of malnourishment and low energy.
Yeah.
She did not have enough calories to sustain her body, and because of that,
Jeez.
she died before she was the age of 50.
So one person versus 600,000.
But that's a good example. Like, if we try...
Anecdotes aren't the same as 600. One person, yeah, you're going to have anomalies, right? I met somebody earlier who said they can't survive and not eat meat.
Yep.
Right? So yeah, I'm not denying that. I think that the number is so slim that
it's very impossible to become full vegan. There is nothing really in this.
Impossible to be.
They should be there. I don't think I privated them. It just goes way far back.
What are you wearing, by chance? Are you wearing Doc Martens, by chance?
Yeah.
Are those vegan?
Yeah.
Hold
By
on.
chance. Are you wearing Doc? There's nothing
Oh,
really.
wait, hold on. Fake
What are you
vegan?
wearing, by chance? Are you wearing Doc Martens, by chance?
Yeah.
Are those vegan?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, they're made of rubber.
And rubber is made of?
Rubber's not made of animals.
But there's a lot of
What,
vegan
you want-
product. There's a lot of animal products and things that
Sorry,
you don't
you
wear.
think I'll turn up to one vegan
Here's an
versus 20 meat eaters wearing leather shoes?
Maybe.
You think I'm...
I mean, a lot of people don't know a lot of stuff's in there.
Oh my days, man.
To
be honest, it crossed my mind too. It crossed my mind too.
Thank you.
Everyone's like, wait a minute. Why is the vegan wearing leather shoes?
Crossed his mind too. I rest my case and my time is up. Great meeting you.
Pick up some vegan dot mark. Thank you.
All right, that's the end of our claim
God.
portion from Dr. Jack. Snaps to you. Great job. I'm going to ask you to look around the circle and choose somebody who you want to bring back to the center for one more debate.
I'm going to pick my guy in the red shirts.
And what's your reasoning?
We started having an interesting conversation earlier. We didn't really get into it. So, yeah, interested to hear more, hear what your claim is.
All right.
Oh, shit. Okay.
How's it going?
My surrounded claim is that going completely vegan is, for the entire world at once, is impossible.
I would not reject that claim. I think going all at once to veganism would be...
It's an absolute claim.
It wouldn't be possible.
I do.
What's your reason for it?
I do want to have a conversation with you about something. When I make food for my vegetarian friends and have cook dinner for them, it feels more expensive for me to go to Ralph's or Trader Joe's and buy, a fancy dinner for them, fancy groceries for them, compared to when I would make food for my meat eaters friends. And
Like I said, chicken is $2.99 a pound. The value you get out of a chicken per calorie is insane compared to any vegetable out there. I'm sorry. Like, okay, maybe go ahead and eat potatoes all day. But, like, you're not going to survive off potatoes. You can survive off a carnivore diet. It won't. Make sure you're in the right part. Because there's like, bro, we got hundreds of live streams. Hundreds. It's got to be there somewhere. Unless I muted them. No, there's no way I muted them all.
And I knew you have great stats
We had a
to
lot of
support
live
it.
streams.
And I'm often left with just making chana masala or something, and I don't want to serve them vitamin B12 on a plate or, you know, a protein shake on the side.
Yeah.
And I just want to have a conversation about that.
Yeah, I feel it. I think one of the most common objections to the vegan is that, you know, it's some left woke person who has excess money, has the time to sit around thinking about moral philosophy, and then makes the change to go vegan, whereas other people don't have the privilege. They're trying to put food on the table. They don't.
This is some sick joke, right? This is some sick joke.
Have the time or even the resources to go out and buy vegan food, and therefore it's a privileged position. I don't think that's true. I think we've got lots of intuitions. Give you an example. How many animals of each?
You can go to Costco. You can go to pretty much, not even Costco. You can go to any supermarket. You got a whole ass rotisserie chicken for $5. From almost here. I'll have to take a look because I definitely have them. They might be private or they could be members only. I don't think I would do that, but.
Kind did Moses take on the ark?
I'm not Christian, so I'm not
How
aware.
many on the ark? You should know.
I do not know.
You don't know how many
I
animals are on the ark? Anyone know?
40.
Not 2, John. Why?
It's 2 of each.
No, I said Moses in the question, not Noah, right?
Oh, sorry.
And so, sorry, why would you didn't even need to fall for that gotcha. I don't know what you're doing over there. The point is that, like, our intuitions about things like that, immediately we think too, but if we slow down, we think about these things, we do the research, then we'll find that actually it's, again, this University of Oxford study found it's 30% cheaper to go vegan, and that the people in third world countries such as Ethiopia and Sudan, the people who are worst off across the world, they're more likely to be eating meat.
Yeah.
So I take that to be true.
Yeah.
When it comes to
I want to know where you think your moral authority is rooted in. I don't know. Where did they go? They probably had a mental strike. They're like, fuck this. I can't take this anymore.
to cooking for your friends, you know, like
You said,
I've
bro.
only been a vegetarian, vegan since I was 21, you know, 12 good years. And before it'd just be beef burgers and chips and a bit of veg on the side, very common dish for a lot of people, right?
Not very healthy, but yeah.
And since I've went vegan, you know, I've started enjoying loads of different foods,
Yeah.
Indian curries, Mexican, spicy food, and it sort of opens up a new world.
So you weren't open to trying things when you ate meat? You fucking pleb? What? That's crazy. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with all your points about being, you know, going vegan, and like a lot of people should aim to be vegan, and which is
Do you think you could go vegan?
And this is, as a man of like my word, I know that it will be very difficult, and I think I won't be completely able to go completely vegan, because I do, and I know there are moral obligations to it, but I do enjoy the taste of, you know, eating chicken. Or
would you consider just trying?
Don't worry, we're almost done.
Plant-based alternatives.
We're almost done.
Because I cited that study earlier.
Right.
175
7 minutes,
people.
I'm not
I think it's so
pausing.
interesting when you give people a blind taste test.
Right, and it tastes pretty similar, yes, and that has happened to me as well. But to me, it feels way easier to, you know, run to the grocery store down the street and get a thing of chicken breast and cook it and eat it for the night.
You feel the moral obligation. You want, in theory, to go vegan, but it's merely just your habit.
I do not want to go vegan, but I do want to take certain steps, and I think there's a middle ground that, you know, because we both have the same interest to.
They're not. Moral argument, right?
Right.
You said
and-
you feel
yeah.
like there's a moral obligation.
Right.
Obligation means you ought to do it, so you should do it.
Well, moral, maybe that's the
Well,
wrong term that
load.
I use, but I think it's
Okay, so we're
I
not
do feel
pausing. No
morally,
pausing.
You know, weird about eat, because if I wouldn't kill an animal, why would I let someone else kill an animal and eat it,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. But even,
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was much better if you went out and killed it yourself.
Right. But I think you and I both want somewhat similar to, you know, go and preserve that the animals are protected and well taken care of and not killed in industrial farming. And
Yeah, but
being
being the
consumed.
killing more generally as well. Another myth is that you're having humane slaughters. There's
Right.
no such thing as a humane slaughter.
Yes, but I think, and this is a thing that the country of India practices a lot, and I don't see, this could
They
be a middle.
practice what?
This Hinduism and the country of India practices
Hinduism,
this.
Jainism.
Right. We practice a thing of not eating meat on Tuesdays, which, you know, I think it's just it's just a step forward in the direction of.
But as you know, the Hindu tradition, the Buddhist tradition, the Sikh tradition, the Jain
Traditionally
tradition.
vegetarian.
Yeah, they should practice the principle of ahimsa, non-suffering. Their reincarnation depends on it. And the same is true, I think, of the Jewish and the Muslim traditions as well. The Muslim tradition,
Represent
Hadith
Kizzy.
2365, you've got an example of a woman who is condemned to hell, according to Muslim teachings. She's condemned to hell for putting a cat in a cage so small the cat can't move in and not feeding it properly. Yet the overwhelming amount of produce that Muslims are eating under the label of halal is factory farmed. Right. And so is the kosher meat as well. So it seems like the Abrahamic salvation is dependent on it. The Hindu, the Buddhist, and this is right back to the start of the conversation, all of their reincarnations are dependent on it too. And
I totally agree with
really,
this. Yes.
Do you have a religious belief yourself? Are you
I am very similar to you in terms of religion. I'm pantheistic.
Yeah.
Pantheist.
He's a pantheon.
But yes, I do believe that, you know, if you are making someone suffer, the karma is going to catch you back. And, you know.
Well, it seems like you agree with the moral obligation, though. And it doesn't
You hear that, guys? If you eat chicken, karma's going to get you. You're going to get got by karma for eating the chicken and an all-American steak. Halal.
You do, and just because of the habit, it doesn't seem to be good enough reason.
Obligation is the wrong word, but yes.
And it seems to me like the reason is habit. Would you say that's fair?
I don't think it's habit, because I did in fact turn vegetarian.
What is the reason? It can't just be what you're cooking for people.
I think how easy it is for me to consume meat, and how easy it is for me to, you know, go to a restaurant and there are 2 options for vegan or 3 and 10 options for me to.
Okay, who the hell uses the word beget? What kind of language are you using? From what Victorian period are you from? Like, what the?
To enjoy a nice dinner, right? And
do you agree that ease doesn't override the moral ought, though, right?
Say that again, please.
The ease of it doesn't override the moral ought. It's easy to have slaves, right? But we shouldn't have slaves.
We shouldn't talk about that. I think it's a different kinds of topic. I mean,
no, it's an analogy. I can change the analogy if it makes you feel
right. Yes,
you know, if you want to avoid that completely. It's easy to, I don't know, if you're very rich, it's easy to fly a private jet wherever you go. Right, but you think you have a moral obligation towards the environment more generally, not to use private jets all the time.
I don't understand the analogy.
It's just easy to eat meat. It doesn't justify harm inflicted on
that is totally
and
fair.
Really
it doesn't justify. Yes,
it's picking up a Beyond Meat burger rather than the beef burger. It's not really ease. It takes a second.
I do think that there needs to be a middle ground where, you know, the meat eaters and the vegans or vegetarian choice people meet, because I can't just snap a finger and say, okay, we are stopping all the farming, industrial farming in terms of animals. So I think there needs to be like a step. It could be a step-based process.
You can take that step right now.
Yes, I could. I do, in fact, intend after this, thing to maybe not eat meat 1 day a week. Or
why not more though?
Because that is still 3 meals a day that I'm not eating meat. You know, and I do intend when I do cook for other people. I do eat vegetarian.
It's like saying, you know, I love getting in pub brawls, but I only beat people up on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
I disagree with
that. Nice analogy.
Then go the whole way. Just say you'll try it. You'll try going vegan.
I know I won't succeed in that because I have tried it.
I'm not asking you to do. I'm asking you to try. I said everyone should aim to be vegan. That was one of my claims.
As a person, I know myself, and I don't think I would be able to do it because I have tried it before.
Dude, it baffles me that people sort of go like, "Hey, like it's so difficult to do. Like it's so impossible."
Not just about being difficult, but
because I don't want to eat like shit. I don't want to eat disgusting food. I don't care if you add 1 million spices to it. You're going to give me your ultra-processed tofu. I don't care. I don't want any of it. Just give me a steak. Life is easy. Life is good.
But I do depend on...
Just do it.
I do depend on my...
Just do it. You can just...
I could just do it. I do depend on my protein and my vitamins and a lot of things on meat.
Just say you'll try and you'll do it. You'll give it your best. Let's end on that. Just say that you'll give it your best. If you fail, you fail.
Don't capitulate. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't think.
Go on, give it a
Don't
try.
do it.
I won't.
I'll buy you
Don't
first
do
vegan
it.
burger.
I will shake your
We'll
hand
go for a
only
vegan
because
burger
I'm
now.
nice, but I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go vegan, but I don't want to leave you hanging.
No, come on, you can't leave me hanging. You'll try to go vegan.
I
No,
just don't want to
don't
say
do
that I
it.
turn
Don't
vegan
do-
in front of you and then not do it because I'm not a
I'm
hypocrite.
not asking you to turn vegan. I'm asking you to try.
I have tried in the past, and I'm promising you that I will be trying
This
to
is
reduce.
this is
the
like a
amount.
living conversation. Of like you accept all of the reasons and you think that
What
you
is
should
it?
do it.
Veganism is actually
Yeah,
not
Dr.
doing
Jack,
anything. Yes, I know you guys
promise
don't
you
do
that I will try
anything.
to limit the amount of meat I eat, but I can't promise you that I will be vegan right away.
Try it for a week. Meet me at a week. Meet me at a week.
I don't think I
Five
would be able
seconds.
to do that.
Try me at a week.
I
Come
don't
on.
think I would be able to
Don't
do
do
that.
it.
I
Try.
apologize.
You
I'm a
can
weaker
try.
man than you, but I won't be able to do that.
Disappointed me, dude.
Let's go.
Hey, it's lovely to speak to you, though. Thank
Very
you.
nice to speak to you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Oh my
I
god,
think
Chad,
on the
it's
whole,
over.
like everyone's sort of like an animal lover anyway. Just like vegans take it a bit further, so everyone feels like the pull of it. There was probably 3 or 4 people who have thought, might be tempted to at least reduce, if not go vegan.
I'm gonna eat twice as many meat.
Holy fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna eat twice as many. Oh. Hold on, no chat. That is the funniest thing ever.
Might be tempted to at least reduce, if not go vegan.
I'm gonna eat twice as many meat just on the off chance that one guy at the end does go vegan one day a week. I'm gonna offset it.
I'm a big proponent of doing whatever feels right for you.
I'm gonna offset it. I love it. Oh my god.
So if they decided to become vegan after this, I guess if they feel like it's right for them, I think when you actually see somebody living a carnivore lifestyle, you might
Oh my
be
God.
more inclined to check it out because it's just more real. It's relatable. Numbers and stats aren't relatable. I don't think he was very relatable to most people. He's very numbers, doctor. How many people live like that?
Boo hoo hoo. I don't care. That's my response. I don't care. Boo hoo hoo.
If you decided
All
to
right.
be vegan after watching this,
Let's go. Biggest burger in Idaho. Let's go, chat. Look at this whole. Boom, look at that burger. Boom, look at that.
All right, she's already posted it in half an hour. All right, I didn't realize that. Oh yeah. Well, I guess 28.
New uncle doesn't care. Dude, new uncle doesn't care. No, uncles never cared. What do you mean? I've never given a shit. All right, hold on, wait. Bro wants me to go watch this Artemis thing. Let's go see what this Artemis thing is. In Unity. All right, let's let it load. Oh. Oh. Chat. Oh. Did we lose our guys? Oh. That's not good. Oh, that's not good. Uh-oh, chat. That's not good. Okay, wait, hit 2/3. Okay, wait. 38 minutes ago, Artemis astronauts race into Moon's embrace. So maybe just this thing is down. At least my new music is too scary for trolls. There you go. Oh, true. Wait a minute. Hold on. Maybe I can throw some tunes on real quick. Sounds. Music. Boom. Hell yeah. Alright guys, well it looks like Artemis is oh god, okay. Oh god, Artemis has made me lag. Oh, 10 minutes ago. Hold on, wait. When moon's gravity... Hold on. Artemis 2 lifted off from Kennedy Space Center in Florida on April 1st, 2026. How ironic they did it on April Fool's Day, huh? And will reach the lunar sphere of influence when the moon's gravity exerts more force on the Orion spacecraft than the Earth's gravity on April 5th. Oh, before flying around the far side of the moon on April 6th. Chat, there's gonna be... Wait, it's 11:50. Oh, wait, chat. That means it's gonna be happening now. Oh my god, they're doing it today. Damn, bro. Floating through space. Wait, I thought they were supposed to be near the moon. When was it? Oh, this was April 2nd. April 1st. Damn, look how tiny the Earth looks. It looks like the moon. Explain this, flat earthers. It's a drawing. Dude, that's a crazy picture. Dude, that's crazy. Dude, look at... Oh my god. You can see the northern light. I think this was the picture you wanted to show me the other day. Wait a minute, dude. That's crazy. And it's on the south too. Oh my gosh. Ain't that something, chat? Ain't that something? The moon, April 4th. This is the most recent one. What is this? Mother Earth. Damn, dude, that's crazy. Dude, what is this? You guys see? Wait, hold on. You guys see this like little pixelated blotch in the corner? What the hell is that? What are they hiding? April 4th. April 4th. This is probably April 4th. April 4th. There's nothing from April 5th? They didn't do anything today? What? Oh, you want that? Yeah, I can put it. Very cool. I put it in general there for you guys. Oh my gosh. Alright, you know what? Low key. What is that? I saw a video of someone putting the contrast up and saying the JPEG compression of the image was photoshopping and it's all... It's all fake, chat. We've never been to the moon. It's all a conspiracy. Okay. I feel like we've had enough. I feel so drained from... Dude, just watching that made me feel drained. Gosh. Alright, we're calling it there, chat. We're gonna call it there. It's been a fun stream. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy the stream. If you guys enjoyed the stream, make sure to like the video, comment something down below, and don't forget to subscribe. If you guys do enjoy streams like this, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Maybe we'll do another one tomorrow, or we'll have you guys decide what we watch. But once again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.